Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Half Turn Podcast. I'm here with my two co-hosts.
My name's Guillermo. I also go by G.
And I'm DR. Welcome, guys. We're excited to have you.
And this is Lawa. Let's get to it like there ain't nothing to it. All right, boys. We're here. We'll be here week in and week out, riding through the emotional roller coaster that is the Premier League.
Sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we all have our own respective clubs that we follow, right? So we'll be able to provide some perspective on that, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
game over the weekend, right? Here
Yeah.
I'm sat with our resident Chelsea fan and a resident Liverpool fan, right?
Proudly.
Good game. We watched it this morning, G.
Yeah.
How did that go? How did that turn out? 2-1?
Man, it was a good game. First off, I think it was a good game. I think Liverpool looked really strong. And not to take anything away from Chelsea's performance, because I think they were pretty decent too. But we're definitely not as strong as we thought we were. And I think today confirmed that.
Yeah. DR?
Yeah, I felt really comfortable just off the start of the game. But what Chelsea did that kind of showed their strength, but they came out hot. That's the thing. They came out hot, and the first 20 minutes, Chelsea were way more comfortable than Liverpool on that field, and they had more possession. They looked more dangerous in a way, but
Yeah.
that was maybe Slot's way of reserving their energy.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of
Yeah.
it. You know, teams very rarely come to Anfield and try to outplay Liverpool. You know, you're the
Exactly.
team at home. You're the one who has to put the show
Yeah.
out. But coming up against an informed Chelsea team, right? Because we did a few dry runs, and you guys were a little bit nervous, each respectively.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
For
She
sure,
with a
for
little bit
sure.
more confidence than I expected him to initially, right?
Right.
I liked it.
Well, I mean, now you can see why, right?
Right,
Like,
no.
we're playing good football.
I think
you
we
know?
learned a lot of things. You know, Chelsea's been on a good run of form. Their attack has been really strong.
Yeah.
But this was a different test, a whole different beast. You know, Liverpool at Anfield is hard.
Scary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always a hard
The
fixture.
atmosphere will literally soak you up, and the pressure is insane. And I have to give credit to Chelsea because I thought that they didn't look out of place. That felt like a top six clash
Right.
that maybe you haven't had recently, you know, compared to
And-
the years past.
And honestly, I mean, we compared to the team that we've been putting out, this was a weaker team, right? I mean, not to complain because we have all the best
Yeah, so who are you
players. Like, we have a
missing?
lot of players.
Yeah, but like, who are you missing? You know, you got your starters.
Cucurella was a big miss
Yeah.
today.
Okay.
There seemed to be, maybe that's a reason why Maresca chose to play Reece.
Maybe.
Because he thought Viega was just, you should not play Viega.
Big
a
game.
full 60, 70 minutes on the left
At
against Salah.
Anfield.
Right, at
Yeah.
Anfield.
Against
which
Salah.
I understand 120%. But I think that was maybe something, you know. But yeah, definitely a weaker side with Cucurella gone. Fofana, both suspended off yellows. So that's the reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's really it. However, the Lavia change, that's new.
Yeah.
He's only played 2 games,
Yeah,
City
I
and
was
Liverpool.
surprised not to see Enzo start off that game.
Captain, your
yeah.
club captain, not starting at the
crazy.
beginning of the game. I know if it was a big team, it'd be on billboards everywhere,
yeah.
front
Yeah,
page
so-
news.
Well, it's like it's a good transition because Reece is back. You know,
Right.
so maybe it's not
Maybe
like
that's why they kind
as
of
obvious.
you know, maybe that is why they accelerated his. Yeah, you're gonna play the Liverpool game. You'll
Right.
get 60, 70 minutes because we're gonna
Right.
drop Enzo, and we need somebody that can come back and be like, yeah, I'll
Be
be
the
the
leader.
captain for the day.
Yep.
Right. And
Yeah.
Reece James was initially that. It's just
Right.
Right.
And
due
he
to
played
lack of
well.
availability.
He did.
He was. You could see that he was physically a little bit
yeah,
off it,
no,
just
he
in
wasn't.
general.
He wasn't there.
But
for
I mean, DR,
physicality.
there was a couple of runs from the left hand side, which I'm glad Luis Diaz wasn't playing.
Yeah,
First off, or didn't
it
start.
was kind of weird to me how I saw Gakpo starting instead of Luis Diaz.
You know, I was
Hot
telling-
form,
I was
you
telling
know?
him, you know what I think it was? That travel international break from
Right.
Colombia back to Liverpool.
Right, I get it,
That's
but
a tough
I
one.
feel like I'm seeing a little bit of favorism from Slot to Gakpo. You know, I'm
that Dutch
seeing
connection.
it. Like when he's talking about him in
Press conference.
press conferences, I see that little bit of favorism into Gakpo. I feel like he's trying to like force him to adapt in
Yeah.
a way. Like I want
Right.
this player. I know what he's doing.
He's quality, man.
Yeah,
like I
'cause-
remember the World Cup. Sorry,
Exactly.
I remember the World Cup how good he played, and I remember
Right.
when you guys got him, and you saw
hot.
it. You saw it, right? But it was there was definitely not consistency, which maybe Slot is like, I'm getting you there.
Yeah.
You know, but I will. The one thing I did want to say also is like he brings. I think he's a great balanced player. He doesn't
Exactly.
need like a lot of flair or like whatever.
He's a
but
functional.
He's gonna play the right pass at the right time with the right
Yep.
weight, you know, and he's gonna do that all the time.
Right.
So
So-
like that's such a good thing.
Being the resident Man United fan, you know, we were chasing him for a little while.
Yeah,
it was
I
like
remember
between him
that.
or Anthony.
You
And
guys
then-
were going out of your way
I
about to pay
forgot
like
about
70,
that.
80
Yeah.
million for him.
It was surprising, you know, that you guys ended up getting him because it was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think he had some convincing from Virgil
Big
van
Verge.
Dijk.
Yeah, that's
You
my
know, his
maybe that's
captain
what it was.
internationally.
Yeah. He popped
that's
off that
right.
World Cup, so like I was in tune. I was following this guy. I was like, this is our next player. But I don't know. I think he's been underwhelming at Liverpool personally.
Yeah, he has
Compared
been.
to the quality, I wouldn't say he's your
His
starting
expectation,
front three.
right?
Yeah, I don't know though, but he's a versatile player. You can play him across the front line.
You can play him.
Play 9,
How
left
has
wing, right wing.
I mean, how has he been with Slot?
He's been okay. I would say he hasn't been great. Not in terms in the Premier League, he hasn't been like
Playing a lot.
great. I would say he's
Okay.
been great in the Premier League, but in the Champions League, he had a really good performances against AC Milan. He played really amazing. In the against West Ham in the Carabao Cup,
Yeah.
he played amazing as well. He put a good performance, but in terms in the Premier League, we haven't seen what we want to see from him. He
Right.
does. He has good plays. He has his moments. You know, he's there. He has good shots. He comes off the bench hot. Like I like him a lot, but starting over Luis Diaz in this moment, I don't think that's
He's strong,
something
yeah.
we
No,
can-
I think the only reason that he did end up starting might have been just because of that travel.
and he
you
didn't
know?
do. I loved him. He played amazing in the
Yeah.
beginning. Like
He
he's
didn't lose
not-
the ball.
He didn't lose the ball, but he wasn't. He's not as threatening as Luis
Exactly.
Diaz. When you're
that
when
balance.
you're Reece James playing
Mm-hmm.
your first game back, see Luis Diaz, you're gonna get fear.
Yes,
Like
sir.
he's gonna put some fear into you, but it's Cody Gakpo.
Yeah.
He's not that fast. He's a
Yeah.
threat. He's physical.
That's what I was.
He's not gonna run it behind though.
Yeah,
He's not gonna
well,
run
he
it behind.
tried. They sent him a couple, like 3
Yeah.
good balls. You know,
Reese did well.
Reese did well, but you could tell in that first duel specifically of all of them, that Gakpo was actually closer than what he should have been.
Right.
Like if
I know.
that's the Reese like not being.
Exactly, but
Good
they're not
enough
going to
fit-wise.
prioritize that left wing side. Oh,
No.
Trent's not going to just be like, I'm
Yeah.
just going to throw it to that pocket. Hopefully,
Right.
Gakpo will get to it. But when Luis Diaz is there, Trent doesn't even need to look up.
Right.
It's like sort of a solid. Like
Right.
when Verge sends it
Yeah.
over, he just knows he's there. You know,
It's
a
repeated,
It's a
they've done
quicker.
it.
It's
Yeah.
a quicker
Multiple-
attack as
Yeah,
well.
so many times in training, probably.
exactly.
I would break that game down because we were watching it. We started watching it start to finish this morning. But first half, you said it. You know, Liverpool were nice, solid, tight, compact. They didn't give anything down the middle to Chelsea. And Chelsea were playing, right? Not many teams come to Anfield against Liverpool and play. They look to disrupt your rhythm. And, yeah, you guys were...
That's what I was going
Strong
to
with
say.
it.
Like they were giving us problems in the beginning. Like let's say the first 20, 30 minutes. Like the first 20 minutes, I would say. Until that penalty, Chelsea looked way more comfortable. They looked more dangerous. They had more possession on the ball, and they were going at it. Until that penalty, that was like a break point for them. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that made you guys get out of your gameplay a little bit and be more attacking in a way because
Yeah.
you had to be. And that's when Liverpool just chilled out and said, "All right, the game is in our hand now. We're more relaxed. We can pass up, knock the ball around. They're the ones who
Yeah.
have to come press us." you
Yeah,
know?
so that's one thing
Yeah.
is I was very impressed with that level of intricacy and technicality from the back line. Would you say you guys pressed really like
We
aggressively?
kind of seem to.
I was
be,
about
yeah.
to talk about that.
Yeah.
When I saw the way Liverpool was used to press with that hard metal rock football with Klopp. You don't
Yes.
see that no more.
No,
They only press when they need to.
dude.
You know,
Dude.
they
That
don't
annoys
press.
me.
Yeah,
that
they
annoys
know-
me. But I told you
Yeah.
at some point in the game, I'm
Yeah.
like, look, we're trying to get them to press, and they're not doing it.
Yeah, they're not.
It was
they don't
like
always
I'm like,
press.
oh,
I love that.
That
Yeah.
credit, I give that credit to Arne Slot.
Yeah.
Right? Because if that press was actually something that I pointed out and I was showing my little brother, he was like, oh, why are they pressing in a 4-2-4? Or why are they defending in a 4-2-4? The space in between the back four and that two, and then the two with the front four,
Right.
it kept tight. It's super tight.
Wow.
So when the balls were getting fizzed into your double pivot in Caicedo and Lavia, we thought in some opportunities, yeah, they did great to get it in and get it out and be threatening in those
right,
situations.
right.
But for the most part, like that's kind of you played into their hands.
Yeah.
Because like your wingers would drop in and tuck really deep.
Yeah.
But it's not like a 4-4-2.
No.
Like it's enough so that if there's an opportunity to press that last line, you're there for it.
It's
right?
like
you can be aggressive.
they were more tucked than the fullbacks. The fullbacks will be wider.
Yeah, no, it was super narrow.
Yeah.
Super narrow. So like Cole Palmer was just not getting on the ball.
Yep.
You did not see Cole Palmer's
Or
magic today.
even like Madueke or Sancho, like they really got maybe 3 chances to really go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean with the ball? Like that's limited chances, dude.
Yeah.
It is.
It's just it was really annoying and it was really, really good from Liverpool overall, honestly.
Yeah.
I was really impressed, honestly.
I was telling Lawa, I'm very happy how it performed. I don't feel like, oh man, like what a trash game, you know?
No,
But-
you can't say that. You
but-
can't say that.
I'm just like happy that we almost rose up to the level that it's really needed, you know, to be a
You didn't look out of
top
place.
club.
Playing first
Yeah.
place, you didn't look out of place. It looked
Right.
like a challenging game. It wasn't. a
Yeah, it was
stroll
definitely
for
not an
Liverpool.
easy-going game for us either.
Nah.
Like,
Right.
besides, like, let's say if Curtis Jones didn't get hit there, you think there was a goal gonna come out of that attack? You never know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes penalties shift games. Whoever
Big time.
scores the first goal shifts games most of
Yeah.
the time. You know.
Yo, by the way, what about that stamp from Trent on Sancho? I
Yeah.
thought there was something in
I was
that.
about to get into that.
Yeah.
But before I got into that, I was thinking like, you think why Slot didn't start McAllister because of that formation they were playing in that system,
Yeah.
where maybe it didn't fit McAllister.
Maybe.
You know.
Yeah.
Or it might have been like you said, it was a long distance
South
travel.
America
You know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because if
But-
you think about it, none of the South Americans played except like Darwin Nunez, who came in because he was
Yeah,
forced
he
to
had
play.
to come in because
Caicedo's
Jota
like
got
that.
injured.
Caicedo.
That's
Caicedo pulled
that's
up when he
another
rolled
topic
out.
we have to
Yeah.
go over is the red card, but we'll keep it there.
Yeah. No, in
the
terms
red card
of
between Saliba,
Yeah.
they were comparing it on social media. I saw a lot
Right,
of that.
yeah.
Saliba's and
Let's get
how-
into it because I don't know, man.
No, I have to give big shout to Curtis Jones because
Yep.
he gets
Go for it,
downplayed
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
this man, he gets downplayed. It's mostly from people that actually don't watch Liverpool games. They just
Right.
they just because he's not that relevant. Let's be honest, you know. But from
Can't get an
somebody
England
that
call-up.
yeah, I mean, getting an England call up is like it's hard, man. You know,
For some people.
it's not. It's they look for certain type of players. You
he's
know?
never gotten England call up.
No.
Not over,
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Th-
Well,
it's-
it's in
it's re-
midfield, I guess.
Shout out Kobe Mainoo.
Or does he play right?
he
I
plays
mean,
midfield. He's
yeah.
mainly a midfield.
Right.
Six,
I mean, it's the English midfield. That's hard, dude.
Maybe he's an 8 dominant. It's maybe a 6.
He's also kind of small.
no, he's
But
actually
he's so like
he's
he's actually.
skinny,
I
but he's
told you
big.
before. Like he's
Do you remember in the summer where like they were asking him about new manager coming in, Klopp XYZ, you know?
Yeah.
And he kind of mentioned maybe this manager like will unlock a little bit something more out of my game because maybe his style suits
of
my
course
play style.
because they're all being optimistic
Did we
about
see
it.
some of that?
Yeah,
'cause
of
I
course.
see some progressive passing. From
I
him.
don't. I had no complaints about Curtis Jones when he was under Klopp because there was some game when I was getting to that point. When you watch Curtis Jones week in week out, when you watch Liverpool, you see what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like from being an outsider, like you just see the highlights or you just see like social media takes. You don't actually
Right.
like know how he plays or look at stats. You're
Right.
not gonna get a full understanding of the player. He's just like
Fair.
another Harvey Elliott. They came up together, you know, at the
Right.
same time. But when he's been on the field, I've seen a lot of stuff I can respect from Curtis Jones. I could be like, all right, I can see him in the future of my club.
right.
You know,
Like he has the good foundation.
he has a
He has the
foundation.
DNA.
He has
The
a DNA. He has a
of the
capability.
football
You
club,
know, I
Yeah.
believe in him.
He has all the good stuff.
He's like there was last season. He had an outstanding performance against Tottenham. Like that was
Remember
just
that.
for examples. You know, like
Yeah.
he can score. He can get in the box. He can be a threat. He defends. He knows how to pass.
He can pass.
He's good at holding the ball.
Right.
So
yeah. Retention.
yeah.
comfortable.
So
That are
and this game showed it. This game showed that he stepped on he put his foot on the pedal and said, "Hey, I'm here. I know what I'm doing. You guys need to chill
There
out."
was
You know
one
what I mean?
specific challenge that I can't remember if he wrote it from Caicedo. Honestly, I can't tell you which midfielder, but it was one of them. But he did it just so like I'm gonna stay here. You can't come. You're gonna try. Go ahead and try, but it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know which one you're talking about. I know which
It
one
was
you're
right
talking
in the
about.
middle of
Yeah,
the circle.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Shout out to Curtis Jones. Great performance. Man of the match. Well deserved. Well, outrageous performance. Appreciate
Yep.
him today.
So I thought there was an opportunity here for Chelsea and the wide areas, it felt like fullbacks weren't really committing with their wingers, creating those 2v1 situations out wide. Thought there was some potential in that because you think about Trent and his defensive record, right? Everybody clowns him for that, sometimes justifiably so. Today, he put on a lockdown job on Stencho.
Yeah.
Jaden the Stench Sancho, right? So, you were running around here telling us how you were getting rinsed.
Right.
So Trent ended up locking your man.
You think it's just because of it was Sancho or?
Well, I think it's the fullbacks.
It was the English
It's because of the
competition.
fullbacks. It's because the system, again, without Cucurella and having Reece James, who really can't be running like that anymore.
Not right now.
Right? He doesn't seem to be running like that anymore. Maybe he's inverting, and maybe that's what we try to do. But again, that cuts off Sancho's game.
Yeah, but
So if
Gusto
you're
was
doing
playing on
that,
Sancho's
maybe
side.
play Neto instead. Sorry?
Right? Wasn't Gusto playing on Sancho's
On
side?
the left side, yeah. But he wasn't getting up there. And he's not
No.
comfortable on the left
But he's
side. You can
that's
see
what
it.
I didn't see that a lot from him today because he's more of an attacking fullback.
Because he's
and
not.
he was staying back because he's got to guard Mo Salah.
Exactly.
You know
That's
what I mean?
another thing, too. Yeah.
I think a part of it was, the United game. Remember when Slot came out afterwards and he was like,
We know how they play.
Yeah, we know how they play. We know that
Yeah.
they're really aggressive and committing
Yeah.
with their fullbacks.
Exactly.
And how did they kill us? That's exactly how they
Yeah,
did.
from that.
Wow.
I saw something. It was like Maresca watched like so many games of Liverpool in the span of 1 week, trying to like develop this game plan.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like, oh, let's keep it a little bit more reserved with regards to our
I
fullbacks.
I
improve our
honestly
defense.
think everybody kind of overthought it. Honestly,
Right.
I think that's kind of like Maresca's been great, amazing, and even today I thought he put on a 7 at least out of 10 performance as a manager.
Respectfully, yes.
But I think those were the mistakes.
the opportunity
right?
was in the wide.
Playing Reece right away, I think that was a mistake.
That's kind of funny because when you had the dry run episode talking about Chelsea and Liverpool, and we did not expect Reece James to come. We were like that would be not a good
it's
idea.
not gonna happen. We're like,
for
yeah,
Reece
no way it
James.
happens.
First game back against Liverpool, like that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But he showed us that he's
he can
at least
hang.
fit to play a big game.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
can hang. But the thing about Reece is that Reece is so good because of his duels and because of how when he wins his duels, he makes something of it, right?
Yeah.
But the backside of that is if he doesn't win those duels, he's really getting messed up. Like we're really getting punished for it. And I think he did well to hang for what he's going through, but I think you play Gusto there. I
Right.
think you play Gusto there and you figure it out on the left side. Or actually, Fana has been playing right back. Disasi is a disaster class. You don't want to play
you
him
don't want
against
disaster.
Liverpool. So he did have limited options, but
So would you
again, I
say
think-
would you say the left side or the right side was the weaker side today? Because I saw a couple of times today where Mo Salah would come in on a 1-on-1 and then Cole would have to commit. And there was one time where Cole it was like a
Yes.
penalty shot, but it was not a penalty on Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was ready to shoot and he came from the back.
Mm-hmm.
As a defender, you shouldn't be in that position, right?
That was poor from him. I would
You
say.
know what I mean? But then he had to commit to that side because his fullback wasn't
rinsed.
available. You know?
I
Yep.
really, really like Levi Colwill. Right, you know this. I love Levi Colwill, and I think there's a lot of opportunity for him to improve in his box defending.
right,
Ball playing with the ball at his feet, beautiful, fantastic.
right.
I would say he's a little bit more of a sweeper, but just inside of the box,
He needs to be a little bit more
more of a leader.
smarter, stronger, everything. I would say honestly, it needs to be
better
way
inside the
sharper.
box. Yeah.
I
Defender
really do
first.
think we did suffer a lot because of having Gusto there. It felt like we felt limited. That's
Yeah.
what it
Right.
seemed like. Like we felt limited as a team, which is very weird compared to how we felt. We felt like we've been flying every single game. So that, and like I said, remember, I don't know if you remember, but I said yesterday, it's going to be about getting over that first goal to second goal gap.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
can break through that barrier, we could win the game. And I thought, honestly, if we did that, and I even think maybe even after watching the game that if we did that, we would have won. Because maybe the third one will come, But you guys just did so well. First off, scoring right away. But
30
second
minutes.
of all, just the maturity in the whole game the
Yeah.
players showed and just as a team.
That's what kind of gave me like, all right,
The comfort, like you said earlier.
we're actually gonna compete this year. We're not
Yes.
just on a whole a nice run, hot run right now. New
Hot
manager.
manager.
So
bounce.
you have been doing really well since the start of the season. this is the first time you played up against a team in the top 9, right? We're not going to say 10th because Man United doesn't count.
I was gonna say.
But, you know, first real big test. I thought you guys have done well to come back in certain situations. The Forest loss at Anfield was huge, right? But, you know, we look at this performance today. Like, what do you think about Liverpool up to this stage in the season, at least?
I think to be honest, they've been phenomenal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they're taking on a challenge with a new manager coming in, and it feels like as he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels like the system changed, but the players, they still have their priorities. They still want to win.
Yeah.
Nothing has killed their momentum. It's like they came off stronger, like off of that momentum. It was not a like, oh, we have to adjust, we have to adapt to this new manager. It's just like he came in, he said, I know what I got and I know how to use it.
Well, I think a big shout out, honestly, from what you just said, goes out to Klopp, right? For deciding earlier what he's doing. That way, you guys don't go into the summer. Oh, we need a new manager.
He left, yeah.
You know,
I love that.
You know,
you look at all the
then.
big other teams. You know, Man United transitioning
Right.
from Fergie to Moisey.
Yeah.
Arsenal transitioning from Wenger.
That's
to
crazy how
Emery.
he just said that.
But like it was like for those teams, it was almost a complete flip in terms of philosophy and how to play.
Mm-hmm.
Arne Slot's tactics are similar, but it's almost like he's added a new element into that team.
Which is possession ball.
And you see that from Gravenberch.
Yeah.
You see that revitalization.
It's
from
like
Gravenberch.
the people that know how to dribble the ball and retain possession, he's getting the best
Dude,
out
you
of
guys
it.
were
That's
knocking
awesome.
it. Like
Yeah.
that swing or across the back line just to retain the possession.
Yeah.
It was golden.
It's like they're slowly draining the blood of the opponent's team slowly. They don't need to.
There's a real I can't figure out the word right now, but there's a real like ruthlessness about that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, come take the ball.
Yeah.
Come take the ball. I'm
It's
just
like
gonna
we
give it
don't
to
need.
him.
It's like we don't need to chase. You guys
Yep.
need to chase. So we're
Yeah.
gonna tire you out even more.
I was saying it to G earlier, right? I was like, oh, like, you know, you think of the great teams in and around the league. You look at Guardiola, Arteta. They're like, it's all about what they do on the ball. The game plan with Klopp and even with Arne Slot now, it's like they're most dangerous without the ball.
Yeah.
Because the moment they win the ball, it's go
It's
time.
dangerous.
Yeah.
It's like they don't. The opponent doesn't want them to have the ball because,
Right.
especially when they have a lead.
Yeah.
Like it's like we don't want them to have the ball. But what you gotta attack. You know,
Yeah.
when you're down, you gotta attack. You
Yeah.
have to. You can't just sit back.
That's true.
Because, like we said, it's not the same. Pressing. Everybody press. If somebody is not attacking, we're just gonna sit back and relax.
Yeah.
You come at us.
We've
Yep.
had some good results against y'all. The very few, right? Obviously.
Last season.
most of that was like, you guys have the ball.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you the opportunity to win it off us and transition with that.
Exactly.
aggressive pace.
which is a big like maturity point for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that you don't do that, right? Like at that game, there were so many times I'm like, yeah, go for it, so that we
'Cause you
can
wanted
counter
it.
that.
Yeah.
Because
That's
that's
what
what
you want.
that's what I was so excited for, like that transitional game. You know, I wanted to see Jackson, like I wanted to see someone getting the ball up, just on that kind of like fullback area, right, and then to have 3 runners.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted
Yeah.
to see. I never saw that today.
But that's a good point because when most of the time, like last season, when we had Trent more of like being more of like a midfielder, right back midfielder role, was like
inverted.
there was a lot of gaps in there when we get countered with 3 players. It's like
Yeah.
he's always running back, he's always
Right.
chasing. You know,
Working
now
a lot.
yeah, now he's there. He's in front of the guy with when we get countered, he's there
He's
and he
there.
has another center
For
back
the
behind
rest
of
him.
us.
Kanate,
The
like
setup is good.
He doesn't have
beast.
because you don't have to feel like you have to commit and
yeah,
win,
you don't have to commit.
you know, which is like the scariest feeling for a defender.
Exactly, but I like that point you brought in. You said that how Klopp set everything up before he left. You know, because
Yeah.
that's amazing. Because I love when Klopp first came into Liverpool in a press conference, they asked him a question about how he's like, we were struggling during that time. You know, he came in, we were 8th place mid-season. You know,
How long ago was all that?
that was 2015, yeah. And he said is one thing I remember he said is like, most of the time as a manager or as anything you do in life is it's not about how you come in, it's about how you leave. And I love that. Like it reminded me of that moment.
Right.
And he left on a great note,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, he
That's-
did everything like he could to the best of his ability. He always trusted, you know, like it's very interesting to me how good you guys are. Like, I didn't expect
I hate it.
to you guys
I
for you to
absolutely
be
hate it.
that good. Like,
I
I don't
feel
know. There's a
small in this
certain
chair.
there's a certain level of, again, ruthlessness and maturity that's very, very balanced right now. And
I
it's
wasn't.
very hard.
I wasn't
me
very. I wasn't very optimistic about us
Slot.
going into the season. Yeah, even though we had a great preseason,
Mhm.
but you know the Premier League is different gravy.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
coming from the Dutch league, yeah, like you did an amazing job with a team that wasn't seeing success, and you brought success in. But this team already seen success. They know how it tastes.
Mhm.
Can you handle that pressure? Can
Right.
Can you handle being studied every
Yep.
game? Because in the Premier League, there would be managers, they would come in 3 games, their first 3 games, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They play beautifully, but then you get figured out, you get found out. You know what I
Happens to
mean?
Brian all the time.
Yeah, you get found out. Then after you get found out, what can you do after
How
that?
can you
That's
adjust?
when
How
you get
can you
scared.
adapt?
That's when we're gonna ask the
Yeah,
real
that's
question
when
and
you
find
get
out.
scared. It's like when a manager's doing great, then he gets found out. Then you get into that zone where like, is he gonna cut it or not?
Right.
But that Nottingham Forest game, that's what made me feel like I was like,
Mm.
dang, they found out his game. Because that game we were kind of soft. Like
Yeah.
we weren't adjusting to the game.
Was that also the game where he made like a halftime sub for Kwanzaa to bring in Konate, or was that a different game?
No, that was the first
game.
game of the season
That's
that
right.
he did that.
That's right.
Yeah.
But he mentioned that like you have to have that level of physicality. In the league.
Yeah, but against Nottingham Forest they like literally blocked our road. And I was like, and I was scared. I was like, dang, like, is this
What
the
happens
moment
now?
where we're gonna question him? But then
Mm-hmm.
he comes out next game like, and he gives us that hope. Like, no, we
That was
got
that
this.
Crystal Palace, right?
Uh,
Would you guys bounce back after Nottingham? Was it Crystal Palace? I think right before the
no,
international
we
break?
we went against AC Milan. In
Okay,
the
okay.
Champions
Went
League.
1-0
That's right.
down and
I was
then
thinking
1-2.
Premier
Yeah,
League.
we came back and we made a 3-1.
Right.
So that game
That's a big game. Yeah.
that game like showed Liverpool fans that okay, we got a good outcome of that loss. It wasn't nothing that brought us down. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would say for the most part, like we all came into the season thinking, oh, it's gonna be Arsenal and Man City again.
Right.
I remember this guy telling me Liverpool's gonna be top 8, max top 6.
Yeah,
I was laughing at
remember
him.
that,
I was
remember
laughing
that.
at him, and look at him
I
now.
was, I mean, honestly, like everybody was writing off Liverpool.
I was trying to
Everyone was writing
manifest
off
it, if I'm being
Arne
honest.
Slot.
But I would still see like I would watch like podcasts here and there about like preseason predictions and stuff. I saw a lot of people putting Liverpool top 4.
Right.
Because it's the big question, like the big ambiguous.
Yeah.
thing. I think the thing, like we came in thinking it was Arteta, Guardiola that are really challenging.
Exactly, because of
Now I want to see like Slot. I needed to go wrong for me to understand then what is going to be the outcome of this year.
and this is gonna be. We haven't got tested.
not properly.
Not this November month is probably the hardest test ever a manager can
We'll learn
face.
a lot.
Arsenal next.
We face Arsenal in like 3 weeks. No, we
okay.
we
No,
go.
no, it's next week because
think it might be
Saliba's
next
red card.
Yeah, you're
There's
right.
no Saliba
But
for that game or the Chelsea game,
Right.
Because he gets a 3-match suspension.
Unless they
that was bad.
There's
what's it
no way
called?
they can. We'll get into that. We'll touch on
Right.
that. Well,
Yeah, you're
but
right.
Matter of fact, that
Colwell incident?
Yeah, the Colwell incident on the
Yeah.
halfway line looked pretty similar, no?
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
the
it did.
Colwell, the
I honestly thought, and I was telling you while watching the game, we got off lucky.
Yeah.
However, I will say, well, first off, we got off lucky. Honestly, that's my truth. That's my true opinion.
you think so?
How I feel like they're trying to maybe justify is that Adebayo, which I think was right next to Colwell, right? Or Colwell was the one that made
So
the
it's
challenge.
a denial of a goal scoring opportunity.
Right,
And
but
if you're last man,
Do you remember that
Right.
touch? That Jota
Yeah.
touch?
Yeah,
The guy to the right, first off, wasn't very far. It's like our distance.
Right.
And then he was coming in hot. Like, I think he was going to beat Jota
And I think
to
it's
that,
Gusto
to that
too,
next
so
touch.
Gusto's not slow.
Right.
yeah. I don't think it's the difference between the Saliba one and the Colwell one is like the Saliba one. The striker had. He already
Beat him. He
The
already
space
beat
was
him.
the space was already exposed. You knew he was gonna end up
Yeah,
there.
I mean, Saliba was behind him, right?
Exactly. So
Whereas
what-
whoever did that, I can't remember if it was Colwell or Tosin.
It was Colwell.
It was
who
Colwell
tackled-
that took
who
the
tackled
foul,
Well, he
Jota.
was more like shoulder to shoulder. You know?
Whereas
It
Saliba
was
kind of pulled.
bad. It was
Like,
short-
Saliba was straight behind and straight
But I feel like, but then he fell on him. That's when he hurt his like ribs.
If we think about the laws of the game,
I think it was from the side. It was from the side.
That's what I'm saying. He was more to the
Yeah.
side, you know,
shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
rather than like a straight up goal deny. Like no,
The
you're
thing
gotta
is,
wait. You're getting
It was
away,
still
so.
questionable because you don't know if Jota was gonna be through. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yep,
But
exactly.
it looked like he was gonna be through. But
Right,
they gave the defender the benefit of the doubt,
right.
which they do most of the time in the Premier League. Just like with the Trent and on Sancho early in the game where he stepped on his foot in the
I
penalty
thought it was
box.
a stamp.
Do you guys think that was a
I thought it was
penalty?
a stamp. Yeah.
I think if you give the Colwell penalty, you should give that one.
No, but the Cole was different. He literally came for it. He hit him and like.
He did hit him, yeah, but Sancho stepped on him, right?
But
Like the
the thing
contact,
was-
both contacts.
The thing
were
was
made.
with the Sancho one is like the ball wasn't there. Like Trent already went in, touched the ball, then his foot landed on his other leg, not knowing how Sancho was gonna.
But he stamped him at the end of the day.
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
He did the
He did.
stamp.
I mean,
so I think that's enough for a
Does he
penalty.
get ball first? Because I'm
No, not for the Sancho one.
Okay.
There's no ball
There's no ball, but the ball was already like
played, but still,
Yeah.
like he
it wasn't
played it
even-
and then he got
the
stamped.
ball was lost. He lost the ball. It wasn't played.
Maybe it was out before. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it properly.
But he did. That's what I was saying. Like he did hit him in the box. He did hit him, but you see.
I mean, how do you feel? Do you feel like you got
I
off
f-
on a break, or
what I feel
Media darlings.
What I feel like is, what I feel is, if it was last year's Premier League, that would have been a penalty. But this year, I feel like they've been more lean
A
towards
lot of stuff has been
more
introduced to the
beneficial?
refereeing
Like you
side.
said,
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt to the
benefit of
defender.
doubt to the defenders.
Which I think is I've always said it amongst us, right? Like when it comes to offsides and stuff, you should give the benefit of the doubt to the attacker.
yeah.
When it comes to a handball and challenges inside the box, give it to the defender. I feel
yeah,
like
and
that's a
there
good
was a
balance.
handball today on Cole, but which was outside of the box.
Yeah.
And his hand was literally hanging.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember.
Yeah, I did see that. Yep.
It was like two handballs. One of there was in the same play. It hit Colwell's hand.
It hit
Then it
Lavia.
had Lavia's hand in the back, but his hand was on his body.
His hand was on his body.
But
yeah.
Colwell, his hand was out.
It was out.
And the Premier League was, we're not gonna waste time on this. Is already Liverpool's ball, so let's just
Yeah.
play it. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah, no, that's
This-
that's the
they're not
annoying
consistent.
part.
They're
Exactly.
not consistent.
Like again, like I think if Colwell does that and gets punished for it, I think Trent should get punished for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
talking
It's
about the penalty
consistency.
on Colwell?
Yeah, and like, why are they watching? So why do they not watch the Sancho situation as much? But then the Robert Sanchez situation is watched 5 times.
The thing is the VAR officials were looking into it.
Mm-hmm.
Then they gave the decision to the ref.
The thing you have to
Right.
understand about VAR is it can only be coming into play if it is a clear and obvious error by the referee.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the language. Clear and obvious. Is it clear and obvious? Like if you
right.
you know like that, there's a little bit more ambiguity where it's like no, the ref absolutely made a decision. We're gonna ask him to go and check the monitor now.
Right.
And that's what happened with the
I
Sanchez
think
one,
now
'cause he
in the
committed to
Premier
it,
League-
and then they were like, oh, actually, you know, ref, you might
I
want to
think
go and
it's
check that
the
out.
way
Right.
the way it is now in the Premier League, just like with the Sanchez situation.
Mm-hmm.
Not Sancho, your goalie.
Yeah.
It's like the ref gives a penalty and he confirms it, and then the VAR tells him, "Are you sure about that? You might want to go look at that
Exactly.
again." That's when the
Final say comes down to the ref if he wants to go back and look.
So but they still tell him, "Hey, like I think there's."
Yeah,
There's-
so they have to rewatch it a bunch of times.
Because the
so
ref,
they
very
can
rarely.
the
see
ref
it.
confirmed it. He said it's a penalty.
Yeah.
Right,
He
yeah.
said it was a penalty.
Yeah.
No. He said it wasn't a penalty, and then they
No, he called it.
Before they went and looked over the VAR.
Yeah, you're right,
He
you're right.
confirmed it was a penalty from what he saw,
Uh-huh.
from the eyesight.
Yeah.
The moment.
And then
Right.
they went to the monitor.
They
checked,
went to the
and it was like,
monitor and
actually, nah,
checked.
he touched ball
That's
first.
when and because the referee thought the Sanchez's hand came in play where he hit Curtis Jones.
Right.
You know?
Because and that's what you thought. You
His
thought his
shoulder.
shoulder.
I
hit
thought
But
his
then it
shoulder
was
hit
just
first.
natural.
Yeah.
touched ball.
Well, he touched his
positioning.
ball completely 100%.
And he did touch the ball first.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like,
And I
you
mean, it's
give-
a keeper, right? Like,
you
how is
have
he
to give.
supposed
yeah,
They're
as
the
a
most
keeper,
protected
yeah,
players.
as a keeper,
Yeah.
you got it.
Which honestly, might have played into the next thing, right? Like the next goal, your goal with Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
Because I think Robert Sanchez does a bad job of not coming all the way out
That's
there.
what I was thinking. I was like, how
Bro,
is
he
giving
literally
all the
gave
time
him
to
the
do that?
shot.
Yeah.
Like he had the chance
He
to
was
get
scared
rid of
to
the shot for
overcommit.
him, and he didn't.
Caught in
Yeah.
two minds.
And I saw it from the beginning of the game. I'm
Yeah.
like, you can tell right away what type of time Sanchez is on.
But
Right
come
now,
on.
he is not on good time.
That the thing that was poorly done by Chelsea is not trusting their offside trap that was gonna work. You know,
They were scared to commit to a high line.
That's what I'm saying. We felt limited.
They
we
thought
all
it was
felt limited.
offside for
We were
sure.
not playing like
What a
with the
ball. What a
confidence
ball
that
from
we
Mo Salah.
should. You know.
Yeah.
So
I think a big part of that also is what you guys did today getting Cole Palmer, right?
Yo, he was
like
ghost.
you had
I'm
Sancho.
sorry, G, but today Cole Palmer, he was ghost.
Nah,
Gone.
nothing.
No, he had a good
no,
shot.
he was
had
gone. He was gone.
It was
Honestly,
finished.
truly.
Nothing.
Truly.
He wasn't the same. Like
He literally
acting
seemed.
all tough before on the interviews, talking about just another game.
Moving.
Come
moving,
on,
That's
man.
crazy.
You're
mad
at
team.
Anfield.
Nah, and
Show some respect.
that's the respect like I have to give to Liverpool this game. Like you guys genuinely showed up and said, "Nah, we're more mature. We know how to do this.
Yeah.
You got to figure out how to beat us from that."
Where Maresca missed the mark is you have Sancho and you have Madueke, right? Both coming inside. You also have Palmer here in the middle, and then there was no width.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's like you have all three of these players in these congested areas, and Liverpool's like compact nature when they were in that 4-2-4 block, it was tight. So they touched the ball, you getting killed.
Yeah.
So I was saying like pay attention to Palmer.
And
what he was doing is he would move to the defensive line and then drop off, but then the wingers wouldn't find him and get him into those positions.
Exactly.
Because that's where he's ruthless.
Right.
Proper in between the lines player.
I mean, he had one chance. I
that
really
shot,
think
right?
I really think the pressure got to us as a team. I'm not disappointed in
a
how
young
we
team.
responded to it. You know, it was a big moment. It was a big ask. I just felt like we ourselves kind of let ourselves down in just a little bit. Like we kind of held back a little bit.
I think that comes from
Like
the
we
strong.
honestly, it felt like we paid you a little too much respect. Like just everything in general, just a little bit, right? Because we had to.
I think you guys have had a really strong start to the season, and even like what is it? You guys have lost like 3 times since was it January of last year? This makes it 4
exactly.
probably.
Yep.
So really strong end to the season last year, and then Maresca's come and really only has the 2 blemishes on his record now. Like what's your outlook? It's been bad. It's been really bad with CSKA Chelsea. You know?
No. I'm kind of in the same wavelength that DR is with Arnslot, with Maresca, because he's showed up, he's shown he can lead the team, he can represent the team, and he can adjust the team.
Yeah.
Right? Like people were also saying how stubborn he was going to be, another Marid Sosadi.
Yeah.
And he's been totally, like, I think we saw from a 4 at the back, we went to a 3 at the back after halftime.
I
right?
thought so too. Yeah.
Big balls, right? To
Right.
make that call of
Yeah.
taking out all those 4 or 5 players,
Fair.
right? Or however many he took off. I know that Reese came off, Sancho came off.
And
Sancho was the
Kunku
first
comes
to come
on
off.
and
That's what I was
almost
saying.
ties it
It's
up.
like it's with Maresca is like he's giving you some sort of reliability. You can when I was watching when I was watching Chelsea last season, it's like every game you don't know who's gonna play, who's there, and it would be all over the place. You know, it would be like you don't know who's gonna start the back.
What a reality
Oh
show.
my
it
god!
You know what I
You didn't
mean?
know who was starting goal.
You don't know who's gonna be up top. You don't know who's your left winger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's come in and put that foundation
And
in place.
he came
You
in
build
and
on
put
it.
that foundation, and it's like I know what I'm looking forward to every weekend.
Right.
You know?
I mean, even like, but like I do have to give credit to Pochettino in the sense that he took the job that nobody wanted.
He did
right?
clean
He did
up a
what
lot of
Frank
mess.
Lampard did
He did
that
clean
season.
up a lot of mess.
Yeah, and he did decently well.
Just
like how he
towards the
ended,
end
how
of the
he
season.
ended, he ended well.
Yeah, towards the end of the season.
know,
The
we-
thing that drew them apart was, Pochettino had
There
his
was
own
no
ideas.
chemistry. Like when he first came in, that was the real like big
You have to figure it
turnaround.
out.
We like lost so many players, and then we brought in so many players. It literally felt new.
Yeah.
like the whole vibe was like
He's got to figure out.
unknown.
He
Like
needs to know his players.
you know that how crazy is that for a football team?
And he figured
You
it
know?
out. So he
And
realized
figured
who
it
our
out by
guys
like
were.
January, February.
He
Like,
knew who
that's-
his guys were. Your Conor Gallagher's, your Trevor Chalobah's, right?
Yes.
But I think he felt that pressure from the board that they wanted to get rid of him. And he
Right.
was on the time where it was like, nah, like you guys need to back me or I'm out.
Right.
So then became a mutual thing. And then
Yeah.
Maresca being available. I'm surprised at the seamless nature in which he's integrated. Because it's been good from you guys, to
Yeah.
be fair. Cause
Yeah,
It's
it's
been-
more structured.
It is.
Like from just seeing the Chelsea fans, they're more comfortable. They're backing them up.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not a mess anymore.
It doesn't feel hectic. It
and
doesn't
that's
feel
that's
unknown.
easier that's gonna be an easier job for the manager
Yes,
too.
sir.
You don't
Yes,
have
sir.
all that headlines against
Yeah.
you.
I think what Maresca and Chelsea in particular are missing right now is experience, winning experience. You have all
Yes.
these kids; they're all hot, talent, ready to burst onto the scene.
Losing Thiago Silva, right? Like maybe we don't concede that penalty with Thiago today.
No, like you have to, like, because you talk about the transition from slot. You have winners in your team already.
You have winners.
You have the culture set.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to come in and set that culture, as Maresca does. So if you see a situation where you guys keep spending and you find those guys that are the, what do you call it? Like the pinnacle, the thing that's holding your culture within the club together.
The spine.
It's holding it together. Right now, there's people that are trying to become that, coming into that frame.
Right, Cole Will.
It's not cemented.
Right.
Like, I look at your captain for the most part. It's Enzo Fernandez.
You know,
he doesn't even speak English.
It's important you bring that up. It's important you bring that up because I think, how do we really give... I mean, it's been a success so far with Maresca, but what I really think would make it be a big statement is winning a trophy this season.
Yeah.
I don't care how small it is, right? Winning a trophy. That squad needs to win a trophy.
Yeah.
And I think they have the talent and quality to do it. It's going to come down to, like, mentality and composure.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get it over the line, but that's just something that I'm now thinking about because I was mainly focused on the league.
When was the last time you saw Chelsea be in top 4, like the first 7 games
I
of the season?
I would think that's
I think that's definitely...
that gives you a little bit of taste of what he wants, you know,
yes,
what
for
he's going to
sure.
do.
But I think that happens, right? Like, I think you take care of the little things, that comes. But I really think the team in itself needs to want to win this season. We need to want to win and win this season.
I think you guys have it in you to win. I see
agree,
the players, they're adapting. Like Caicedo last season, compared to this season, at least from the start of the season, it's like, oh, he's a different, kind of a different player.
More mature.
More mature. Better decision
more settled in, everything.
Better defensively. Like, I feel like last season, him and Enzo were just, sometimes they were just getting rinsed.
Right.
You didn't know at Chelsea in the past years who's your 11. You're slowly seeing that come into fruition. I mean, Maresca's binned off half of the team and sent them off to separate parts of the training ground.
Think about, tell me who's your number 10 in your team.
Like, my go-to number 10 at this
Your number 10, your actual number 10 in the team.
Like, as a number 10.
Who wears number 10?
As a number...
McAllister?
Yeah. I thought you meant, like, who's your number 10 as, like, the main...
I meant, like, who holds your number 10 shirt. Like, you know?
Well, then, let's say, like, let's talk about... If we're talking about, like, original football heritage, your number 10 is Mo Salah's our number 10.
Right. Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're
saying.
saying.
Goal scorer of past years.
He's the main guy.
He's a chief creator now. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I hate it, but I love it.
But as a player maturing, creating chances and scoring, he's our number 10. But our official number 10, as of a number, just a number, is McAllister.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to make a point of this because that's McAllister, right? Majestic, amazing. Right? Who's your number 10? Rashford?
Bruno. Well, the number 10 is Rashford, but Bruno's the guy.
Okay, the number 10. That's what I'm asking. Our number 10 is Mudryk.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, we
haven't
had an
11.
So. Like, we haven't had an 11. We haven't had a 7. We haven't had a 10. Like, the last time that I saw a 10... Because not even Fabregas was playing 10.
Yeah.
He was playing an 8. He was doing what Fabregas was doing.
Hazard.
But... Even him, he was mainly left wing. He would play. He would go cam and shadow striker decently.
Original.
Well, no. Your number 10 is Palmer. Like
right.
The person that
no,
occupies
of course,
100%.
But I'm talking about the shirt.
Oh, I see.
You know,
I get you. Yeah.
Like who's the number?
The responsibility that it holds, and that basically the number 10 holds.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Exactly. That was my point. Like we don't have a truly settled club.
Right.
Like we're now just settling. You know.
Yeah.
So
number 10s, you're not happy with who your number 10 is. I'm not happy with my number 7 is.
Right.
Mason Mount, you know? So
LOL, Mason Mount. I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
Hi, Mason.
Wasn't he playing? He was playing a little bit in the beginning of the season, wasn't he?
Dude, it was really good. I loved our pressing structure with him in the team. It's like he can't hold fitness.
No.
God damn it, he can't hold the fitness.
He just doesn't have the...
Yeah.
He doesn't have the fire in him anymore he had at Chelsea.
No, we're feeling a little bit of that injury crisis at the moment. At least it's starting to creep back in.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which is funny because now Arsenal might be experiencing a little bit of that, and look at them.
Oh, big time. We'll get into that. Moving into the Man United segment. Did you guys watch the game?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the Man United game.
Yeah.
I thought like a great performance from Sancho. Garnacho. My bad. I got talking about Chelsea a lot.
Yeah, wrong club.
Yeah, Garnacho, he took the responsibility because he doesn't usually start like that. And
so the interesting thing was he played on the left wing and Rashford.
Played on the right wing. That's what I'm saying.
Weird. I saw that lineup. I was
if I was like from seeing it from Marcus Rashford's perspective, like I've been in this club, I'm a senior, and here I'm seeing a little kid play my position, but
It's good.
He's doing better than me. You know?
I mean, it's exactly what Marcus Rashford
I wouldn't
did.
say that. I wouldn't
Yeah.
When he
say
came in,
Rashi's been better than Garnacho.
No.
Or the other way around. I wouldn't say Garnacho's
But
been
to
better than Rashy.
what Garnacho did today at
So-
the left wing spot has been more productive than what Rashford has done this whole season. I'd say.
So look, I love Garnacho. I think Man United fans and media in general are overrating him a little bit. I don't think he's at the level that we think he is yet.
No, of course
His decision making for me is nowhere near the level that it
No,
needs to
it's
be.
because it comes with more games. Of course.
What I love about Garnacho, he's like, the Ted Lasso thing where he's like, be a goldfish.
Yeah.
Anytime he makes a mistake, he forgets about it. He's
Yeah.
a volume player. He took like so many shots that game, and he ended up scoring the hardest one out of all of them, which is the most interesting thing about it, right?
But you saying, just go back a little bit. You said that you don't think Garnacho has been better than Rashford this season.
Nah, absolutely
Yeah, that's
not.
crazy.
No
That's
chance.
What
crazy.
does that take?
I'm sorry,
What
but
do you
that's
got
crazy.
for Marcus Rashford? What are you gonna argue for?
Marcus Rashford, he has provided us a lot. I think, like I said, the decision making from Garnacho isn't up to par the same way.
I don't know.
We've leveraged that. Oh, Rashford
love
doesn't
Garnacho,
track
man.
back. To the
Okay,
same degree.
you.
I
Ca-
hate
I
him,
don't.
but I
let
love
me-
him.
You can't argue that Garnacho has been more effective.
I think he's been
impactful.
more clinical, and he's had more moments, but overall performances, I'm seeing more out of Rashford at the moment.
consistency
Rashford
over the whole
Rashford doesn't
90-minute
play on the
period.
right.
So,
Rashford doesn't play on the right wing, right?
I know,
He
but-
ended up scoring or creating the most chances. during the game.
Let's say this: if Rashford was promising up to this point of the season, like we can trust him. You think Ten Hag would have shifted him to the right wing?
I think he's been our most effective forward across our whole front
But
line.
I
Marcus
just
Rashford.
told you he literally hasn't.
No, I think he has. I think the numbers will tell you that Garnacho is a little bit more
It's
effective.
not just about numbers. It's just about being there. It's like being there and
Well,
the moments you want him, you need him. Like,
Yeah.
Garnacho was there.
Right.
He was there when you needed him.
I'm talking more about like
I'm talking
effective.
performance.
I'm talking. I know exactly, which is what Dior's talking
Yeah.
about. I'm talking about like Garnacho has just had more output.
Yeah,
That's
what I'm saying.
Which to me speaks like he's been better. Of course Garnacho's gonna make the more wrong decisions and kind of, I don't know, like waste the more chances maybe even.
I would
but-
say waste more
right,
chances
right.
because Rashford wastes chances like it's not.
But Rashford-
No,
We'll see.
so that's what I'm saying. Garnacho's a volume player. He'll take 12 shots a game and score 1 goal.
Yeah, but Rashford's not even getting the 12
clinical.
shots.
Right, and that's more of the fact of Garnacho when he plays, you can tell he's always looking
Dude,
to go for the
Garnacho,
spectacular.
the first half today, Garnacho, I saw him at least, not today, but the Man United game. I saw him like taking at least 3 or 4 shots just in that half.
That's what I'm
doing
saying.
something. Like, he had a shot where it deflected.
Yep.
Almost made the goalkeeper make a mistake. And he had one shot where he was dribbling with his his right foot. Then he cut. Then he went to the near post side, hit it with his left. That's what
He always wants to make something happen.
Yeah.
Whereas Rashford has literally, he's kind of lost that, like in the sense of like he can do
one
it,
dimension.
right?
I
But-
would say that like I'm sorry to cut you off. Like I know
No,
what you're
I know,
saying
yeah.
is Garnacho is Rashford is one dimensional. Like he has his one thing he'll do is either cut in or going through the middle. But
So, no.
Garnacho,
this
you don't know
season,
it.
I see it differently.
Now, I'm talking about Rashford this season.
Rashford this season
Yeah.
is more creative than he has been before.
I'm
Last
talking
season
about
when
being
we
a threat.
Well, last season when we have
You don't expect Rashford to just like dribble off to his weak foot and just take a shot out of nowhere.
I think
you know?
I think Garnacho from a dribbling standpoint, he's a little bit more progressive with his carrying, but Rashford is more involved in the final third. So
Yeah,
big
like-
More
problem,
experience.
Big problem we had last season is Højlund, our number 9, is not getting the ball because our wingers decide that they're going to shoot every single time. Now I see Rashford with his mental maturity being more of a creator. Him playing on the right wing, getting 4 chances created. Garnacho doesn't score on the weekend if it's not for Marcus Rashford's brilliant delivery. Right? I think there's a big stigma around Rashford, and a lot of it is because of the expectation he has for what he did when he was young.
Right.
He's a different player, and he's changed, and this is make or break for him this season.
I agree. And I think seeing him on the right was huge. It really was because, again, like his game grew very stale the past 2 seasons. And now
past season. Let's correct that real
Sorry,
quick because the season before that, how many GA did he get, Guillermo?
Oh, was it like 38 or
It was
whatever?
45, right?
45.
And we're giving
45. He scored 30 goals.
He got 45 goals and assists, and we're about to give Vinicius Jr. a
So
Ballon
he
d'Or
got-
for getting like 30 something. Right.
Oh,
So let's talk about the level Marcus Rashford was at.
Accomplishments.
Yeah,
Two
but
seasons ago.
Vinicius
Accomplishments.
Jr. was doing the Champions League.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying.
I
I've
understand, but
never
I'm talking
seen
the
that from
numbers
Rashford.
and the
You know what I
levels
mean?
that he's hitting.
Huh?
I've never seen Rashford have a good run. That's just due to
Good
many-
run for what?
in the Champions League.
Oh, in the Champions League.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the Champions League.
Oh, no, like,
I
we haven't been
seen-
able to compete that
Rashford
well.
has not even. You can't say Rashford has been a star in the Champions League. You know what I mean?
Nah, but
You
he's
can
had
put-
big
you talk-
moments, and he
yeah,
finished.
he has
one
moments.
moment,
You
really.
talk. You talk.
Which moment?
The
Mbappe.
penalty. The
What
penalty.
about the other one against?
The penalty against
Nobody
PSG.
knows.
PSG.
You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm talking about.
The
Mbappe,
the
PSG.
Not the
PSG.
penalty. I'm talking about the game where Twanzebe and Wan-Bissaka.
So was
locked
this
up
the same
Neymar.
tie?
No, it was a totally different
No.
game.
So it's another year?
Yeah.
Same team.
Hat trick in the Champions League, the fastest, or not the fastest, sorry, but
No, that's Mo
hat trick in the
Salah.
Champions League.
Easy to perform when
Mo
you have
Salah-
no
you know
pressure.
that
to
Mo
He
actually
doesn't-
Salah has
win.
that record.
he doesn't
Easy to
have it.
perform when you have no pressure to actually win the title.
He doesn't have the Champions League pedigree as Vinicius. But
Yeah.
the point I was trying to make is you're saying 2 seasons he's been trash. When he was trash last
Stale.
season,
I said stale.
he scored 45 goals. He got 45
I
goals
don't
and
know.
assists 2 years ago.
I think I'm
Okay.
kind of
Okay, fair.
skeptical about the 45 GA. I thought he scored like 30
Across all
goals.
competitions.
That's what I'm saying. You count friendlies too, or what?
No friendlies, G. No,
You're
just
talking-
the real
what do you-
competition.
he's bringing-
The goals in
You're
training. The goals in training.
You're talking
International?
the league. You're talking, yeah.
Oh,
He's talking about all the goals he scored in training.
There hasn't been an English left winger that has scored for England since Marcus Rashford.
Oh, that's true. He didn't even play
That's
for
crazy.
England, really.
That's a crazy stat.
Marcus
Sterling?
Rashford, I hope you guys know.
What
You
about
can check the
Sterling?
stats afterwards, right? He is the most hated football sportsman.
He's not hated, man. I hate when
He's
you guys say
criticized.
that.
Bro,
He's
do you
not
see
hated.
what's going on?
He's
online?
criticized. He's criticized.
criticized because
But
Man
that's
United
his fault, right? He
love
came
to
in as an
hype him up.
18-year-old and
It's
started
his
doing
fault that he
crazy
was
things.
fantastic.
Yeah, he came in as a very young person and started doing crazy.
Right.
And then you guys said he's the best in the world.
We're not
so
sitting here
We didn't say he was best in the world.
analyzing Marcus
I
Rashford's
guarantee
You
career.
said he's one of the best in the world.
exactly. So you have to hold him up to that, right?
Right.
Like he's one of the best in the
So
world.
so the amount of stigma that's thrown at this guy for having 2 bad seasons across the majority of his career.
Listen, guys. We're not.
This is my
highlighting-
problem
We're
with
not
Marcus
highlighting Marcus Rashford's career right now. We're just talking about him in this.
In this game, he
in
was
this,
brilliant.
This season. We're
This
talking about
season,
this
I think he's
season.
been great. He's been one of our most important forwards in our front line.
Is that Marcus Rashford that you want? Is that
Not at that level yet.
exactly?
Do you-
Not at that level yet.
Yesterday, do you win that game if Garnacho's not there? Or do you win that game if,
If
Rashford's not there?
I'd
You
say
know
more
what I'm saying?
Rashford.
More Rashford.
Look at how many opportunities Garnacho got, and you could say wasted, but the one that he ends up scoring comes from a spectacular moment.
But that's what you want
From
as a
Rashford.
manager. You just want more opportunities, essentially.
I hear it, yeah, for sure. And Garnacho's a live wire. I mean,
do you get all those
remember-
opportunities with Rashford there?
Yes, because he was
On the left?
on the right. I thought he was great on
No,
the
no,
right.
but that's what I'm saying.
On
Do
the
you-
left, it's
does
a different game
Rashford
for
do
him.
does Rashford do what Garnacho can do on the left?
I think it's situational. At the current moment in time, you don't have that natural overlap.
That's what I was getting at.
Right.
I was saying like Garnacho looks more of a threat
Yes.
than Rashford ever looked this
Right.
season.
This is what I'm saying.
This
I don't think so,
season.
man.
I think
so.
well, you have to include last year.
You've seen it every week in, week out.
Garnacho, like, he doesn't even start all the games. I think Garnacho's best when you pull him off the bench, realistically.
I know that, but he looked.
He's not ready. He's not the
Brentford is not an
full
easy
product.
team to
He's
go
not.
against. You know,
Nah, but
they're not
again,
an easy team to go against. And
No, not at all. I think I just think that, I don't think Garnacho is at the level that we all think that he is. I think he's a huge volume
I'm surprised
player.
to hear that as a from a
Listen,
Man
he's
U
not.
fan.
We
I
don't
love
think
him.
we don't think he's like he can start and be world class every game. Like
No.
we don't think that. We think he can come on or play in any game and be dangerous any game.
Exactly.
That's something that Rashford has not done in a while.
And
I
how
don't know
long?
exactly what point that is, but I feel like I haven't seen
full
Rashford
season.
feel like that. Yeah, a full season where I'm like,
45 to 50.
Rashy's
Dog.
the senior player. Rashford has there's only been 4 Manchester United players that have scored 80 goals and got 40 assists in the Premier League alone. Right?
You talking about
Ryan Giggs, Wayne Rooney,
Yeah.
Paul Scholes, and now Marcus Rashford.
Marcus? Yeah, because like, you gotta give him that too. He's been there.
The first opportunity our own fans got to throw stick at him, you see Mark Goldbridge and all these
But the
idiots
thing
on
is,
Twitter.
you're talking about 80
see
goals.
these
You're
guys.
talking about 80 goals. Like he hasn't played like how many senior?
How many
He's
games has he
26
played?
now.
Yeah,
he's 26 now.
For
So
eight
he must
seasons.
have
Anything
he
good
must
out of
have
Man
like
United?
400 games.
Yeah, he's been playing for 8 seasons now.
If
dawg.
Manchester
anything,
United.
if anything that's good that's come out of Manchester United, Marcus Rashford has been behind it for the most part. We demanded this guy perform at the age of
I don't
19,
think that-
and he did. He did perform.
The thing is,
don't-
Marcus Rashford, when he was playing striker and you guys needed him there, where was he? Was not available. I don't know why was he playing striker? Like what was it?
When? Last season?
That was like 3 seasons ago. I know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about last season as well. Like
Mm.
they put him up top, like just so they can get
Dude, last
what
year
they
was
want
just
out
so
of him.
Last season we played like
You played Rashford
we played
sometimes as
Højlund.
striker.
It was very rare. Who did we play for the most part?
I saw you play even Sancho as striker.
that was at the very beginning.
I saw you guys. I've seen you guys play Rashford as a striker this season as well. Like
Once.
Yeah.
Only the Barnsley game.
He's very versatile too in terms of position.
I want to see some. Look, this is make or break for him.
Right.
I think.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
No, I
it
think
is.
so.
If
I
he
think
doesn't
it
come
is.
out of this season,
He's an exceptional player. You can respect Marcus Rashford on your team. You know, like
That's 100% true.
you know
too.
what I mean.
Yeah.
You can't downplay him, but
But he's been so bad. Like it's not just that he's been bad because I understand 2 seasons
we
ago
respect
he did
Marcus
that great
Rashford.
or whatever.
Let's get that.
But he's been so when he's bad, it's bad. Like he's like you say Sancho, like he stinks the place up. Like there's a genuine feeling in the team that nothing's gonna happen. The bad. Like that's how he feels.
Nah, that's not right because whenever we have our back against the walls, our whole entire team looks towards Marcus Rashford to bail us out.
But
Marcus
not a good
Rashford
thing?
is our
But he
poster.
doesn't
What's wrong
bail,
with
he
that?
doesn't
He-
bail you out. That's the problem.
For last
When you
season,
need
he didn't
to,
bail
when
us
you,
out.
When you need him to, he gets the opportunities. It's like let's say that game against Arsenal, that goal he scored, that Ronaldo type goal, like that's the Marcus Rashford you want to see. I mean, that's something crazy.
That was
Yeah.
2 seasons ago.
Right.
Wasn't that last season?
No,
against
not
Arsenal?
last season. 2 seasons ago.
That was 2 seasons ago.
Or
Oh,
wait,
that
actually,
was last
no,
season.
that was the game where Garnacho scored the winner, but
yeah,
it was
that
offside.
was last season. When
He
Marcus-
scored against Man City, right?
Yeah, in a game that didn't matter.
I mean, we tied it. That was to tie it, wasn't it? It was 1-1 at that
yeah,
point.
he scored that bang.
Scored
That's
a
what I'm talking
banger.
about. That's the market. He's giving us like
He's a
little-
more mature player
He's
to
giving us
Garnacho.
glimpse. Of
So
what
he
can
should
do.
be taking care of those chances now, which is why he's scrutinized. Because Salah, like if he's not scoring that, Salah's getting scrutinized,
Yeah.
right? Like that's kind of the next jump, right? Because he's not gonna get compared to Curtis
Well, you
Jones,
can't be
who's a
comparing-
great player,
Yeah.
but like he doesn't have the
The
pedigree
thing
of
is
Rashford.
with
you know?
Rashford, I'm saying like when he
So like he
scores those
deserves
goals,
the scrutiny. Sorry,
the way he's talked about. It's like
Yeah.
he scores those goals week
exactly,
in week out. You know
exactly,
what I mean?
or at least like that's kind of what United has made him feel he is or should be. Or
And
could
that's
be.
why when we
It's not that United make him feel that; is that he has been that.
no, he hasn't. You can't.
Well, you
2
can't
seasons
say
ago,
that.
he
You
was
can
our
argue that.
chief leader in terms of output. The season before that, he was trash, garbage. The season before that, he was amazing.
Okay, they
And
just
all the way up until that point.
why do you need to have
progressively
garbage
improving.
seasons? Like what is that?
So
Why do
name
you
me
need
left
that?
wingers across the last 5 years that have been better than Marcus Rashford.
Or 5 seasons.
The last 5 years, who are left wingers you look at and you're like, they have been
Okay,
better
let's
than Marcus Rashford.
today. It's in today's game. Wingers don't get to play their game at all. You know, like, but I can tell you players that have been more consistent than Rashford.
Who?
Like, let's say your Pedro Netos.
Pedro Neto?
Yeah,
Pedro Neto.
you t-
Marcus Rashford.
I mean, come on, man. Like,
Pedro Neto has 11 goals in the Premier League in his whole career.
okay, but I'm saying like, and he has consistency though. Like when he was on the Wolf side, like,
He's consistently getting injured.
but
That's about it.
he gets. All right, I have not seen Marcus Rashford get a goal contribution 5 games in a row.
Do you remember after he came back from the
Okay.
World Cup where he went on a 12-game run
Do
of
you
goals,
remember?
scores and assists?
Do you remember? He's telling me, do you remember? Like, come on.
But
man.
bro,
That's-
see, like he's
selective.
doing that,
That's selective. Like,
but
paying
that's
attention.
No.
that's kind of being done when it doesn't matter. Like
Why doesn't it matter? That was a crucial point in our season. That season ended up only playing not two. We only ended up.
so
not
that was
playing
after
2
the World
games.
Cup. That was when Ten Hag came back,
That was the
or
season.
like when Ten Hag came
that
in.
was Ten Hag's first season where
Right.
we ended up finishing 3rd.
Right,
and
when
winning
you
the
had that
Carabao
really
Cup.
bad start to the Prem.
Yeah, like 3 game weeks.
All right.
So he's just
we're
scoring
not, we're not
meaningless
done.
goals,
We're not
bro.
done here.
Meaningless goals.
We're not done here.
You're not
Hold up.
winning.
What do you mean we're
Let's-
not winning? We ended up winning the Carabao Cup on the back of his performances in that competition.
I'm
We got
talking
to an
about
FA
I'm
Cup
talking about
final.
the beginning, right? You said when you came back, he did the 12 goal contributions.
No, even before that, he was scoring, but then he hit a
But that's what we're
hard
talking
run.
about, like
he hit a hard run. Find me left wingers that score week in and week out to a better
Son.
degree than he does.
Heung-min
Son, fair.
Yeah, like he's literally
That's a great player.
He's the Marcus Rashford people talk about. He's the actual left winger that.
That's a great player.
Why is Marcus Rashford talked about more than Heung-min Son? He does not get the credit he needs.
Bro, I'm telling you, he is the most scrutinized player online. Across multiple sports, he's like top.
But see,
4.
that's
But
the
that's your
thing.
fault.
That
You
comes
don't
from
think-
our fans.
You don't
That
think
comes
that's
from other
you don't think
people's
that's
fault.
You don't think it's deservedly so.
Like, look at
the scrutiny.
The scrutiny for last season, absolutely, and the scrutiny for the season.
No.
which
In
we
general,
No.
because we don't all know that stuff.
I'm a Manchester United fan, and I can attribute most
All right,
of
all right,
the good that's
let's-
come
let's-
across
let's
the
say
time
this, let's say
from
this.
Marcus Rashford.
The way they
He deserves my support.
Okay,
based off of what
we
he's
get
done for
you.
my football.
No. But that's just because you scrutinize someone doesn't mean that you're like, oh, he's garbage.
Doesn't mean he's
No.
not fair
No,
for
no.
scrutiny.
I'm talking about like because he does deserve scrutiny, Lawa. Like as in general, I think.
like how highly you guys talk of him. He deserve. Like, come on, man.
He's
Like,
our best
no,
player.
it's just his expectation, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's
he's
not even
nearing world class, or
he's
He's
is
been
he-
knocked-
obviously
he's
world
knocked on the
class.
door.
He's
right?
not world
Okay,
He's knocked on the
so
door.
then why can't he be world class?
Yeah.
I don't think he
That
is, though.
deserves
That's
scrutiny.
the
Let's-
thing.
let's-
That
I don't
deserves
think that he
scrutiny.
is.
Exactly. That deserves scrutiny.
Let's give now like a little example. Like look at Liverpool fans with Luis Diaz. Like if Marcus Rashford was performing like Luis Diaz this season, you would see Marcus Rashford everywhere talked about. He's having his breakthrough season, whatever. You know what I mean? He's having one of the best starts to the season. But look at Liverpool. They're so chillax. We're chill. Lucho's doing great.
Has
He's on
Luis Diaz ever touched 15, 17 goals in a Prem just alone?
15,
is his second
17.
season,
This is
This is his third season.
This is a season coming back from injury, though. You know what I
no,
mean?
Luis Diaz is a great player, but I'm
But
saying Rashford has the pedigree in the league. He is one of the
But
biggest
listen-
big game
listen,
players in the league.
Luis Diaz has played like almost probably not even 100 games yet in the Premier League. He
Right.
doesn't even have that. Marcus Rashford has been playing for like 8 seasons now.
Right.
And you're talking about 100 goals? How much you talking about?
80 goals and plus 40 assists.
That's bro, for you to be called like what do you talk about as
He's
Marcus-
nearing a goal and
if
assist
you have that
contribution.
many if you have that many a senior what's it
Appearances.
called appearances and you have only 80 goals 80 assists like to me that's not a
Find the players that have 80 goals and 40 assists.
All right,
It's
find
less than
them.
anything.
find a team that need like find a team that hypes up their player as Marcus
Why
Rashford.
can't I hype up my team?
I'm not
though?
like
I
he's
support him
he's
as one of the best
essentially
players in
he's the
league.
only player available for you guys to do it. You know what I mean? When it comes down to on the left wing side, you know, like you guys are not selling him. He's a boyhood club member. He doesn't want to leave. Of course, he does not leave. And Man United do not look forward to selling him. All those rumors about going to Real Madrid or PSG, whatever was happening.
There was something in him. It's
yeah,
just, I think
it's
they
not
came around
happening.
to it.
And he's the guy you guys have.
I disagree with that. I think this makes
He's the guy you guys have, and you have to use him because the way you guys have put
And
him
he
out
has
there,
to perform.
how
But
they-
now we don't.
how you have put him on the stage out there, like Marcus Rashford, boyhood club,
Yeah,
Man
yeah,
United,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
now we don't have to do that. Like,
Why don't you have to do that?
Because
You-
Garnacho, right? Garnacho's putting that pressure and applying that
I
pressure.
feel like it's like in the contract where a player sometimes managers have to use the player because they paid $100 million for him. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
But see,
That's what it feels
that
like.
I don't get that though, because you just like earlier you're saying like Garnacho's not ready. I don't think Garnacho will be ready in a year, right? Like
Yeah.
either. So, like in a sense, like does that is Rashford actually unsafe? Like since he's came in, has he ever actually been unsafe in the club?
No, because you've been looking for him to bail you out week in and week out. Every big game, you're looking for him to bail you week in and week out.
Right.
Look at our front line. We haven't replaced our right winger since Cristiano Ronaldo left in 2008. All right?
What do you mean? What about you talking about replace
Replaced his quality.
as a player?
a set in place right winger.
Well, you guys have had wingers.
Who?
Like in the past couple of seasons,
Who?
you've signed Anthony.
Trash.
Didn't you say Alexis Sanchez?
Trash.
How does he trash?
They're
He was a
trash.
quality
They were terrible.
player. They weren't
terrible.
good at United because
You guys had Mkhitaryan played the right
Trash.
wing
He
for
ended
a
up
little
being
Valencia.
trash. Sancho.
Valencia.
Sancho
these
trash.
are all players that you got, by the way, who were really freaking
Maria.
And
nasty.
Marcus Rashford
Di
outperformed
Maria.
them and stuck around far longer than they ever
Outperform.
did.
Yeah, because like I
Because
said,
he has
he's
that- he
there.
has that
He's
security.
been there.
He didn't have security. He had to break through and establish his place on that left wing.
Bro.
And then at that point, he was competing
He
with
was like-
Martial.
Yeah.
And then Alexis Sanchez came, took off his rhythm, and then he replaced him again.
It's like let's
Marcus Rashford deserves more respect.
He's their marketing product in a way.
It's not about marketing. It's output. He's been one of our best players across the last 5 years.
He does have output. Like he has numbers. He has numbers for sure.
I think only Mo Salah has more goals and assists against the top 6, bro. Like Marcus Rashford is a big game player.
Bro, see, like you
massive,
say that.
huge player.
Son doesn't.
He goes to any other club and we don't talk about him.
Lawa. The thing is, bro, like he's doing all of this when you guys aren't winning anything.
We're the third most expensive team since we won the last Premier League last.
Honestly,
we're not winning the big trophies, but we've still won. And Marcus Rashford has been pivotal to that. Marcus Rashford's debut season,
Rashford came in 8
crucial for us
ago.
winning to Europa League.
He came in 8 seasons ago. 7 seasons ago. You haven't won the league.
No, we haven't.
Okay, you've won 2 FA Cups, 1 Europa League,
right.
Community Shield,
right? Like those Premier League games, those top 6 games, he has all those numbers for.
Yeah,
he wasn't challenging for the title. It wasn't that big of a game.
No, he
wasn't. It's
wasn't.
only big because it's United and a rival.
Well, but that doesn't mean we should look at him and the level of performances that he's churning out.
Rakitic,
and be like, it doesn't mean anything.
Rakitic had amazing games. He had amazing games against amazing teams.
That means he was a great
player.
But
you don't hold him to the level of like Rashford.
Rakitic? I hold him higher than I do Rashford. Rakitic is a Champions League winner. Right? Okay. Marcus Rashford deserves more respect based off of what Marcus Rashford has done. It's not about he didn't perform when we were challenging for a league title. Because does that mean everything else doesn't mean anything? Him coming in as an 18-year-old and winning crucial games for us on a road for us winning the Europa League title, that doesn't mean anything?
No,
the FA Cup, the Carabao Cups, they don't mean anything?
Yeah, of course.
His games against the top 6
you're saying
where we're
18
under
years
pressure,
old?
and he churns out these massive performances.
You said 18 years old?
Yeah.
That's that was the Europa League?
Yeah, that was this.
It just doesn't feel like he's pivotal, like, right? Like if you have a team, if you have a player who you're like, yeah, he has us on his back. Like Heung-min Son has Spurs.
That's
like Salah has Liverpool.
Who is that for us?
Like now it's Palmer for us. We didn't have that before. It was Hazard.
They replaced Marcus Rashford for being the guy we got our back with Bruno, but Bruno.
Who was that guy?
Well, that Bruno took it.
Yeah, Bruno
took
that's
it.
What I was about to say. Bruno.
Like Rashford, like you know what I mean. Like Bruno came in and said, "Yeah, this is my
half-season wonder."
Yeah.
Who?
Bruno.
Bruno's a half-season wonder.
Yeah, he came in half of the season.
Do you remember the Frank Lampard numbers? What they were before Bruno Fernandes came in? You remember them?
You talking about only in the Premier League or career?
I'm talking about in the time that he spent in the Premier League, the numbers that Bruno Fernandes touches.
Yeah,
look, that's a good talking point. Forget this conversation. Let's transition.
No, you know what I was getting trigger him because I was about to say Raheem Sterling's best season. Marcus Rashford doesn't touch that. His best season.
So the funny thing is about that conversation,
Raheem Sterling,
you look at the setup. You look at the setup.
It doesn't matter.
Well, the setup doesn't matter?
No,
DR, if you go...
I'm talking about a player-to-player performance.
Player-to-player performance. Like, DR, if I put you on one of the best Spanish league teams, are you going to perform better than you are at the team you are right now?
I don't know that. We don't know that. But listen...
For most part, what could you say?
Maybe. I don't know that. But I'm talking about Sterling. What do you mean? You're talking about, like... just performance.
Raheem Sterling's performances were a byproduct of being in a settled environment.
It doesn't matter.
In which he was able to perform and score tap-ins.
2018,
Marcus Rashford was pulling his team out of the dirt. Think about where Man United would be if Marcus Rashford wasn't that guy.
Becomes the question, like, is it harder to be a great player or the best player in a shit team, or is it
the problem is,
or is it harder to be a really good player in a really good team?
The problem is that Marcus Rashford hasn't kicked on based off of the setup in which is around him.
Who was Sterling keeping off the team?
He had Leroy Sané. He was challenging Leroy Sané.
Sané. He sent Sané to Germany.
Sané was on the other wing.
But no, there was at a point they were both playing the same position
when Mahrez came in. And
this was before, like so it was Sterling and Leroy Sané, both on fire. And I'm not gonna lie, like I was about to talk about Sané too. He's been one of like the last great left wingers we've seen in the Premier League. You know, like with the Manes. You know what I mean? Because he did have an impact.
See, right away, like that's a quality like you just don't question.
Exactly.
Why does it feel like you can't do that with Rashford?
Because he's been on a successful team.
Exactly. This is what I'm going to use as an excuse. He's been playing on an easy Man City. Man City. This.
Of course,
Man City,
that's easier. You're in a settled environment where you just show up and you.
All right. What if I tell you I don't see Marcus Rashford doing that at Man City?
But
I don't see him doing it.
absolutely, he does. Does he score more or less goals than Sterling did that season?
There
I don't think
comes
so.
a
You look at
question
their
of
profiles and the level of clinicalness.
He's not that much
even able
off.
to compete.
I don't think Marcus Rashford.
Look at
has
the level of goals that
Raheem
was
Sterling
scoring.
has more goals in the Premier League than Marcus Rashford at this moment.
You look at their age. So how long has Sterling
doesn't
spent in
matter.
time? Why doesn't it matter? A few minutes ago, you told me
I'm
he was
saying-
26 and he has this many goals and this many assists a few minutes ago.
I'm saying
why
that
is that not relevant based
No,
on
no, no.
how much time they
You
spent?
took it out of context. I said Marcus Rashford has had the chance.
So has
He's been
Sterling.
he has been playing 8 seasons.
Right.
All right.
How long has Sterling been playing?
That was Sterling. At that point, Sterling was close to Marcus Rashford's age. He was 26, 27. You know what I mean? And he was doing that.
Also, you can't discredit like the moving clubs because you're not just like it's not that easy to just go into a club and then be the guy. There's definitely like a settlement, like figuring out what your role is into the team and all that stuff, which you have to credit for. Like
Exactly.
we haven't seen Rashford away from United.
No.
What if he's completely butt out of United?
What if
Like
he's
what if
actually
he
a
like
world beater?
what if he can't leave United because he just does not have the capability to leave home?
No, I think that,
Right? Like
that's
that-
not a
that
question
comes into
anymore based
play.
off of our ownership structure now. I'm telling you, it's make or break. If he's not gonna get it and he's not gonna perform, he's gonna get replaced.
And so he deserves the scrutiny he's gotten. If you feel that way, he deserves the scrutiny
This
he's
season, I
gotten.
see
Noah.
this season I see an uptake in his performance.
Good, as he should because it's make or break time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you saying that literally tells me that he deserves the scrutiny he's gotten.
I don't think it's fair.
So then it shouldn't be make it or break it. It's not fair for you to say that then.
I see what you're saying. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair actually.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
He gets scrutiny because he deserves scrutiny. It's not, maybe it's over exaggerated, but again, you guys over exaggerate your players.
No, it's the fact that we're massive, right? We're absolutely massive, and he's been a big crucial part of it.
Whatever. Massive and winning 3 trophies, Europa League and 2 FA Cups.
Yeah, don't forget the Carabao Cup. Don't forget about
Oh,
it.
sorry.
We are the
Shield.
third most successful club in England since.
Community
I'm
Shield.
not going to say that. One thing I wanted to touch on in regards to this game is Højlund.
Right.
Højlund scoring 18 goals since the time he's been in the Premier League with only 13 XG. Clinical.
That's a
I saw
lot.
that goal over the weekend, and
That's such a micromanaged stat, though.
what does that even mean, bro? What does that even mean?
You're trying so hard to make him look good.
That's not me making him look good. That tells me that with the
Yeah.
limited amount of chances he's
He
had to take
scored.
shots, he scored his goals.
Yeah, but why is he not taking shots?
Because he's not getting the opportunities to. That's the deal. That's why I was upset about Rashford and Garnacho the previous season because of that selfishness. You have a number 9, you better create chances for your number 9, right?
I think that's what Marcus Rashford's game has shifted a little because when you have a number 9, you're playing your whole game around him for him to get the most chances and to score, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why Marcus Rashford's been more of like trying to be.
I see what you're saying.
More creative.
I see. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I love that. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm happy. I'm happy because he has that a little bit more than he does for.
And you guys have 2 of them now, right?
What?
The Zersky, is that?
Yeah,
Xerxes.
he's gonna take time to bet it.
He's a striker who doesn't want to finish.
He said it himself. Yeah, like it's like when he gets inside the box, he just I don't know, he shuts out. But all around his
He
play is
becomes a
really good.
keeper.
What I saw from Højlund that was
yeah.
different because he hasn't really spent much time with us this season.
Yeah. He was really impressive. Can I just say,
Yeah.
like, watching United, I've watched probably 5-7 games from you guys this season overall, but that was different, right?
Yeah.
Like, Brentford was different.
It looks
He
like
came
Rude's
in,
got an arm
he
around
came
his
in.
shoulder.
No, he came in and said, "I'm the 9."
Yeah.
Like, I'm the 9. I'm gonna do this very well. If you like what Xerxes is doing, I can do it too.
Yeah.
Right? I love that.
I think-
those dropping the shoulder runs, beautiful.
The
Like,
difference is like last season when he was his debut. Obviously, it takes time for you to adapt in the Premier League for such a young
the
player.
beginning of the
Exactly.
season,
He was
there.
wrestling.
even though Jackson was shit though.
He was trying to wrestle like the defenders off of him. And what I saw last game that I have not seen before is that he would create that separation and he wasn't choosing to do
Yeah, he
that.
definitely
And it's
has
more
it.
that all
He
around
has it in
hold up
him.
play where then he was kind of linking it and then The finish
He's
itself.
fast. He's also fast.
He's
strong.
rapid.
He's fast.
He's strong.
Yeah, he's strong and
Yep.
he's you
And
can
he's a
send a
finisher,
ball.
man. Like
Yeah.
he can score goals.
He
You
can
have to
hit
score
the
chances
ball.
for him.
He can hit
You,
the
you
ball
think he's your
hard.
traditional number 9 hold
Yes.
up in the box type player? I feel like he's
Not
kind
in the
of-
box. I feel like he's the guy.
He's kind of in running behind type striker.
I think he's
too.
versatile.
He's
though.
yep.
Yeah.
I think
was
he's
just
very. I
gonna
think he can
say.
be a
He's just
poacher.
heavy-footed a little bit.
I think he
say
can be a
so.
poacher. I think he can pick up the ball and run with it.
Yeah.
I think he can
I
hold
think-
the line and then get the ball over the top and finish it. I think he has a lot.
Aerial threat.
Yeah, we don't see enough of it. It's because of us not creating the chances
Yeah.
for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the little bit of service that he's getting, he's scoring them.
He's doing well
He's
with what he's got.
scoring them. So then you look at it as a problem, Man United overall. Why are we not scoring, creating chances for this guy? Because Rashford, right? If Rashford doesn't score or assist in a game, he doesn't look good.
Right.
Terrible.
And I think that's
Yeah.
what you were trying to get at a little bit earlier, right?
Not necessarily.
I'm not happy with it.
It's like when
He tends to have.
I feel like it's when Marcus Rashford has a bad game and United losing.
Yeah.
That's when he gets most of the
Yeah.
critiques. You know what I
Fair.
mean?
He can
That's
have
when he gets it.
like his bad performances can be really bad.
Fair.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I think just that dynamic between Højlund and Rashi, I felt that most connection.
I mean, that's honestly kind of like what
It's
you
'cause
want, right?
Rashford's
Like
on
just
his right foot.
logically wise, like Højlund is a powerful player.
Yeah, he's a
Rashford
force.
used to be powerful like player. Like he could get the ball and make 2 touches and already be in the box. You know, he can't. He's not really
could
doing
tell he's
that.
lost a little bit of
He's not
pace.
really
Why
doing
is
that,
that?
and
It's
he's not
not-
scoring.
he's
After that season,
I think you run out of straight up the word I liked or the word I used earlier. I really like stale. If you're on that left winger like position, 8th season, like dude, like at some point,
and also
even
like,
you get bored.
all
Like you
the
run out
teams-
of ideas. When you hit that hump, you're not as excited to become creative. Like you're just stale. Like everything's just the same, and that was the really worrying part. Seeing it in his face, he just seemed
It's
stale.
like
Like,
there's
he
been
just
a
seemed
bit-
like this.
He
the
hasn't
most sad
exceeded
thing
his-
for me is that like there's been a disconnect from our own fans towards him.
Right.
Not the guys that go to the match and like actually go support the club week in and week
I
out.
feel bad,
Online, it's
actually,
bad,
you know?
bro. It's
Like-
bad. He gets scrutinized like for the littlest and
I swear, if that was like
He's the face of the club, though.
Yeah. Of
He's
course
the face of the club. Like he has to. That comes with that.
I think yeah, but that's the thing. Like if you're not performing at the end of the day, and we're trying to move into this new direction where we're looking to win a title by 2028, I think you cut your ties. You get the
Yeah.
money and you go and reinvest it. So we'll see. We'll see what comes.
yeah,
from
it's
that.
a really hard situation.
Yeah, I would not like, even though like I know I'm a Man United fan, would hope for they would hope for the biggest downfall for Liverpool players, but
You know
I
it.
would hate to see Marcus Rashford not being what he was supposed to do. Like,
Yeah.
I
You
think
know,
that's the
right.
thing that hurts
Yes.
me, man.
You know what I mean? It's
Yes.
like maybe he this is all him, but because like you haven't seen anything different from him. That's why he's as a Man United fan. I was excited to see like Rashford's being more creative because
Right.
he's adding more to his game.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you
He
see
needs
like
to.
this is a big comparison, but you see Mo Salah like, oh, this season he's it because he's getting boring. Like he doesn't doing the same thing, but
Nah.
every season he adds a little bit more flavor
Yeah.
to his game.
Yeah.
You know?
Now he's a chief creator.
Yeah,
like,
it's
that
the-
pass for
yeah.
the second goal.
Yeah,
Curtis Jones.
Dude, that was
That's what I
intricate.
was saying,
The
what a
weight
ball.
on it, the way that it was delivered, slice the ground.
Yeah.
That's quality.
Sanchez
The thing is,
should've
it's
gone
like
there.
I'm surprised. That's why we like criticize Marcus Rashford. Is like he's been in this league. He knows what's the Premier League about. He knows how players play. He knows the physicality.
Yes.
Like
My
He's the face.
argument-
He's the face of the club. Like
I get
these
it.
type
Like,
of
trust
things.
me, I
you
get
know?
it, and I hold him to that standard. I think he's done a lot more for us than we have for him, in a sense.
Yes,
I think
I
if
agree with that.
Rashford behind him,
I agree
everything
with
is
that.
settled. We're golden.
I agree.
He's
with
banging.
That. I agree with
Yeah.
that.
So I want to see that this season, and then at the end of it, I'll come to my conclusion and be like, I think
I don't
might
think
be
you can
time to
do
cut
that.
ties.
So if your
time-
team, because I don't think United is going to be amazing. If your team doesn't do that and he doesn't do that, what happens?
I think if there's an opportunity to cash in, you cash in. You have Garnacho waiting in the wings. Go spend.
You're
that
gonna
money
know
elsewhere.
too how he's feeling. Like if
Yeah.
he's gonna want to be wanting.
Because there
to
has,
leave or
I'm
wanting
telling
to
you, there
just
has
stay.
been that
I mean,
disconnect.
at this point, he's one contract away from getting into the rest of his
That's
career,
it.
pretty much.
No, that's it. This is the.
He has one more contract, one more big contract left.
Man, it's
Is
not
that
like he's
going to
on.
be at United, or is that going to be to get money somewhere else?
It's not like he's on pennies or anything like that either.
Yeah.
Overall, Man United's been a movie this season. Another movie, more like a TV show. A TV show's fair.
Yeah, it's been fairly consistent, honestly, in terms of
Yes.
like
I
just.
feel like he's been. It's been a good show if you're not a Man United fan, but it's been a bad show.
Hey, that's one thing. We are the most entertaining club in the world, and I will
That
not
was
have it
really
any other way.
That was really well
it's-
said.
What you got? 3 home losses so
It's
far.
bad. It's like when we
Out
lose,
of
we lose
7.
really bad. I think you said it before.
Yeah.
When we lose really bad.
That's the thing. I've never seen like the home losing at home
It's
culture.
become acceptable, bro.
Yeah,
it's so sad.
and
to
Man
see it.
United, that's
It's
like,
terrible,
like
man.
your culture is like what losing at home has not been something that you see often. You know what I mean?
So we got these new owners.
You would get, you remember that season where you guys had like what, like 16 ties or something with Jose?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy
Still.
it was a crazy amount of
I
ties.
forgot about
Hate that.
that.
That was the home games. They would tie at home
Because
They
you wouldn't lose.
Yeah, you wouldn't lose. You would just
I
That's
love-
tie.
unacceptable.
I love
You can't
when they
tie
do.
at home for Manchester United.
Yeah, I was saying that. but-
Unacceptable.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's just like the Liverpool thing, right? Like
Yeah.
you're supposed to go in and be like, oh man, like you put 1 foot wrong, we're gonna get punished for it.
A tie at Anfield is
You
a bad
know,
result for
it's
you.
literally almost the other way. Like it's like United feels like, oh man, we put 1 foot wrong, we're done.
So
you know?
the real big talking point, at least in the Manchester United, like what do you call it, consortium, whatever you want to call it, is these new owners have come in. You know, the Glazers. You guys know how much I've been complaining about them. at
Right?
least.
Yeah. So many
New
years.
ownership coming in from the footballing side. The air that everybody's breathing is different, right? So it's like mediocrity is not acceptable going forward, and you won't see a lot of the stuff that these guys are doing like until 3 years down the line, because you're gonna see what changing the tunnel at Old Trafford really is going to do. It's the little things, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
like
true.
the culture of your football club. We're not going to allow player power to be something that leads us, right? You're gonna earn your contract. We're not gonna give them out like just randomly, like we have been in the past. So that's why I'm coming in with a little bit more of a firm hand with regards to players like Rashford. With regards to players like Bruno. Bruno has been fantastic and at the soul of anything
He has
good
not
we've
been
done.
the same Bruno.
He has been horrible this season.
Yeah.
So bad. Like so
like
bad.
it's like you were talking about like how what's his name Hoyland is not getting the chances.
Service, yeah.
But you have the best chance creator in the league behind him,
Yeah.
which is Bruno.
Yeah.
He generates the most chances
Consistently, like you can say
know what
that
I
he
mean?
has, yeah.
That's why I was kind of like on that about him. I was like, he has Bruno behind him. What do you mean he's not getting service?
It's like, dude, the thing that really frustrates me with Bruno, it's like I think of a footballer in terms of their art form, like all round ability, technical, like technician. You can't compare a Bruno Fernandes to a Martin Odegaard or a Florian Wirtz or Jamal Musiala. These highly technical.
If Bruno
proficient
has the
players.
opportunity to be the man
He'll
of
be
that
the man.
moment,
Yeah. He's a second
he's gonna
striker.
want to be the man.
He is
there.
a second striker.
He's not. He doesn't want. He's not looking to be the guy supplying.
He is output, goals and assists. That's the thing that makes or breaks his
But
performances.
that's not
too.
what you most want out of him all the time. Is
I agree.
he's not the player to be bashed
Yeah.
after a game for not scoring assists. It's
No, yeah.
just having good performances. Like
It's like when he doesn't have good performances.
yeah, but he's relying too much.
He
on
goes
that.
for the Hollywood. He goes
Yeah.
for the always.
Why can't
it's
you just-
never like drop
yeah.
in, tick, tick, tick.
He's a
let's
big.
hold
He's
it.
a big player.
Yeah.
He's a big player.
It's a frustrating thing for
you
me
can
this
have a
season.
great game by just not
He works.
scoring.
He works
Exactly.
better.
He's never gonna have that
He
Why
works.
not?
because
Sorry.
it's just like his overall like technician. Like one thing I want to see more from him: drop into the middle and make it a 3 instead of a 2 and a 1. Don't be the number 10. Be a
Yes.
number 8.
Uh-huh.
Then you'd get more out of his tenacity and that natural like
Maybe
fight in
like
him.
you can get a pre-assist or like send a nice ball in.
Exactly.
Send a
Instead,
nice
he's
ball.
up top chilling with
Yeah.
Hoyland and Xerxes.
That's what I was
It
gonna
doesn't
say.
fit
He's
the dynamic
direct
of it.
Because
He's-
he
he's
has it
very
in him,
direct.
right? You would say
Yeah.
so, G. Like
thrives under chaos.
he has.
When
I'm
shit's
talking
hit the
about
transition,
that
Yeah.
deep
type
playmaking
football.
type player. He
Yeah.
has it in him.
I know, and I think that comes to Ten Hag. I'll point the finger at
Yeah.
him. Why haven't you experimented with that?
Yeah, he can send.
Plays every
Yeah, he
single
can
game.
send
The
it.
most available player I've ever seen in my life. I think he's only missed 3 games in his whole career.
That's what I was gonna
That's
say.
crazy.
Like, he's just been in this
He's burnt out.
like
In
that
my head,
pace. He needs to chill and join Ericsson's time.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like that
Eriksen.
type of time.
Can I just
You
shout
know?
him out?
Yeah.
What a season he's having so far. Like, man, he's an intricate player, underrated baller.
He-
Just wanted to throw
he's
that
the type.
in
He's
there.
the
Forgot
type of
about
player.
him.
He's
Yeah.
never gonna lose the quality. Dude.
No, dude, man.
He's gonna be playing at 45 with his kids, and they're gonna be like,
Bro, he had a heart attack on the field. We all saw it live in front of our eyes, and he comes
that was
back
in the
and-
World Cup or the
Yeah.
Euros. Euros, right? That's when
and like
Italy
he churns out
England.
performances like this, bro.
Yeah.
Like you have to respect it.
No,
It's a player
yeah.
you can't hate. You know, there's those players on opposition teams you just can't hate them. You know what I
I
mean?
love how they go through phases, these players, because this Eriksen you see right now is just like, can you picture the Eriksen he was with Tottenham?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
With that
different.
hair he had, it's a
Yeah.
whole different character.
Uh-huh.
I loved it. It was kind of like that hard rock type of player.
Like,
you know?
Yeah.
I love him, man.
He would
He's
have
a
been
good player.
so nasty with Klopp, like
Yeah.
that age him
Yeah,
and
he
with
was a
that
live
Liverpool
wire.
team.
Yeah.
No
I
kidding.
loved him. I loved him, and I hate Spurs.
Yeah.
I remember all the goals that I'd be like, do this, do that, do that. We wouldn't do it, and then he'd punish us.
Yeah.
Overall, when it comes to Man United in the season, it's all about Ten Hag and how he's going to manage it, right? Like stuff has not been going well for the last 2-3 weeks, and some of the stuff he's doing, I'm not a big fan of. But the conversation is, oh, you should sack him. You should sack Ten Hag. There's nobody out there that comes in and you're like, this is going to make a big monumental change. Because you have to think about it. Like our next manager or Ten Hag needs to be the guy that delivers a Premier League title.
Right.
Has to be. This is the philosophy of
But the
myself
thing is,
and the club overall.
a
with the
counter
ownership.
argument towards with that statement is you can also, as a manager, you would get sacked for what Ten Hag has done at Man United.
I get it.
You would get
Results-wise, yeah.
sacked for what.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Like, right? There's no other candidates to take over his spot.
But who do you get? Who do you go out? You sack Ten Hag tomorrow. Who do you go and get?
There is.
There's no
at this
standout
moment,
candidate.
you
So
know what
I think it's
the only
almost
players
better.
the only managers I can think of that are like top flights, like Xavi. You know.
He doesn't come into Man United.
That's
and
what
make
I'm saying.
a monumental
He-
difference. You know,
he
he's
can
not gonna
make
be
it-
the guy. He's delivering.
Wait, like I feel like if I was down bad and hearing that
Does he
Xavi,
even speak English, bro?
yes, he does. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm just
Phenomenal.
wondering.
Like people like Zidane, you know, that would be.
But they don't want to go there.
They don't wanna
They
go
don't
there.
want to go
I
there.
don't want to go there, man. I don't want to go there. That's
no,
so ambiguous.
No, you guys, it's really sad in the
Pochettino.
sense you guys don't have huge
What about
name people anymore.
Thomas Tuchel? Like you think like if you went to Man United, he would have.
I would have.
What
I would have hated
what a
it
weird-
as a Chelsea fan, but I would have loved to see him. At
The talk
United.
was that Radcliffe really wanted him in the
about,
summer, but he rejected us.
Yeah.
So
I
now you
remember
look and you went to the England job.
that.
so-
Deserbi.
Deserbi
Potter.
went to Lyon.
I know,
Or
like,
Olympic Marseille, sorry.
I feel like those are great managers that can hold on.
Okay, but like
right.
Eric Ten Hag, like everybody looks at Xabi Alonso right now. He's the hipster choice. Oh, like whatever club gets him, they're lucky. That was Ten Hag before he came to Man United.
Not up to not like.
Bro, he's won 8 trophies in 6 years.
I would say that Ten Hag.
He'll tell you himself every
Nah,
press
man.
conference.
That only his one season where Ajax kicked out Real Madrid out of the Champions League. They made it to the top 4.
Yeah.
And they got knocked out by Spurs.
They got semifinal against Spurs, in it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the Ten Hag.
And we don't have it. Yeah.
Everybody wanted.
So like do we have the players to be that Ten Hag team?
I mean, I think you have better players
Some.
in like some positions.
And then there's a lot of figuring out.
You don't have you have the Delict, but he's not the same.
But like
Delict.
this is a player that just came in. Real quick, actually, let's talk about Delict
Yeah.
because I think he's been really good.
He's been good.
The Spurs game was really bad.
Yeah.
And the game after that. This last game, I saw like shades of Nemanja Vidic. Cut open, bleeding off to the side.
Yeah, you can say that.
That like I've really liked it.
He's aggressive. I love Delict.
He's gonna need a little bit more time to create that partnership, but I like that defensive line that we have with him in there now.
the other center back that's been injured.
Euro, yeah, he's exciting. Like we'll see what comes.
You
of
guys
him.
don't have like a go-to center back right now. Like playing Johnny Evans. Like
What a player! What a player, Johnny Evans, bro.
why
He
is
balls
here?
out.
Where's
Proper.
Liche? Where's Liche at?
Liche, I think he's been a little bit overrun.
Because he was the best center back in the league that
And
first
he
year.
was fantastic. He was amazing. I think right now he's a little bit burnt out.
This is what I'm talking about,
Shaking
man.
my
The
head.
player comes
But
in.
bro, he was fantastic.
he was
during
not,
that
but
time.
he's not the best.
I never said he was the best.
I just
Guardiola
said it.
did.
You said yes, he was.
Guardiola
is-
told you he was top 5.
He's the thing is with Leach is
Top
like
5.
he would have an amazing game, like outrageous
He was really
performance. You know what I mean? Like come out like crazy, good, like an 8.0 rating after the game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would just goes for like the next 4 or 5.
Yep.
games.
That's absolutely not true at all. In possession, Lisandro Martinez is one of the best center backs in the world.
in
my
possession, yeah, probably,
Yeah.
but
I think defensively, he's a small guy, and I think his legs are too small to cover big ground. So
I don't think so.
Well, no, bro. Every single time we get burnt, it's because somebody like Casemiro or somebody like Lisandro Martinez are covering big spaces on the field. You don't want him in that situation.
He's fast.
He's not fast.
He's fast.
He's not fast.
Really fast.
He's not fast.
He's like, he can hang.
But he's quick.
De Ligt is faster than him.
He'll get rinsed though. Like he's gotten rinsed a couple of times.
When he's box defending inside his box and his left back is here and his right and center back is here, he's a proper warrior defender.
Comparing to like Colwill and him, right? Like Colwill's really good at that channel defending. I think like
Leach misses that.
hang.
I don't think he has that.
He can't
locked.
hang in there. Like if he goes up,
isolated.
what was it Salah that messed him up?
Yeah.
Like anytime he gets into that position, he's getting rinsed.
He's naturally overly aggressive.
In the box and just in possession, and even
Blocks.
I would say like
Aerial,
he's
right.
very
Surprising.
smart.
He clears
like,
a lot.
He wins a lot of his
He's an
stuff.
intelligent. I think right now, like we haven't seen the Lisandro Martinez we saw in the debut
Where is
season.
Leach at? Where is Leach at? I don't think I don't think he's arrived yet.
No,
Like,
the
that's why I'm
butcher.
saying
The
that.
butcher.
He came in.
He's in the shop or he's
He's
hunting.
getting
What is he doing?
He got a crucial injury the last season, and then automatically
That's
with the
right.
crisis,
The foot injury?
he came right back in. A metatarsal injury is no joke.
Yeah.
Now that he's back, Euro's injured, and the next options are Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans.
Right.
And with us trying to establish that first 11, I think he's been burnt out a little bit. I think Euro coming back in the next few weeks and giving them some time away. Then you come back and you see the best of Lisandro Martinez. Our best back two with the center backs is Leach and Matthias, in my opinion.
Right. That's what.
And I like on that paper that looks fantastic. By the
Yeah,
way,
it does.
So
It
I
looks
think
really
it takes time for that to bed in. But overall, with the Ten Hag thing, I think I'd give him to the end of the season. I really would. I would let it get really bad. Like, let it get really bad. So you identify what needs to change.
Yeah.
What is it about, like, has a manager come into Manchester United and had some sort of stability, like backing, like, you got it. Like, we'll push you on and we'll help you however we can. Now we have that. And in the summer, you voted that you were going to give him the confidence. To go turn around now and just sack him as a board, you'll look dumb.
Yeah.
You look stupid.
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's just not good for the
sacking
club.
him would have been the answer either. You know what I mean?
If there was a time to sack him, you should have sacked him in the summer. You would have you should have went balls to the wall to go get Tuchel. But I think Tuchel rejected us realistically, and there's nobody else I look at and I'm like, oh yeah, like that guy's gonna come and win the league for us. So I don't know.
I like that how
Good
you guys
win.
haven't sacked. Like usually in the Premier League, a manager like Ten Hag
You don't get more than 3 years,
you
bro.
would have been get sacked. You know.
Yeah. No, last season was really bad. I think you need top 4 this season. You need as Man
It's
United.
gonna be really hard.
I know. Trust me. I know. But that you have to get that. You have to get that, or you win a Europa League or something, I guess, and like just barely finish outside.
Right. He's
That's-
probably gonna save his job again.
Because look, last season
Improvement is the key.
progression and improvement,
Yeah.
right? That's big for me in terms of my manager.
Yeah, it's not necessarily just winning trophies.
No,
It's
not
seeing it.
at all. But like, so he comes in his first season. He figures out that he can't exactly play how he can. He adapts and he kind of plays more of that Ole brand, soak up the pressure and be very fast and direct. Last season, when he wants to change it up, he gets decimated with injuries.
Yeah.
Right? And then this is the part where he's a little bit stubborn. He's like, I'm going to nail this home. So I'm not changing my system so that when players come back, I can roll with it. Performances were horrid. Our pressing was trash. You come in opening games of this season, I see change. Right? And you look at it up until I would say the Liverpool game. Obviously, it's not a big sample size. But the way we were playing, we created a lot of chances and we were negating. Bro, last season, teams, it was like, you get 20 shots against us. You get 20 shots against us. Just take turns absolutely rinsing us in transition. I saw that improve, and now I'm seeing a little bit of a downfall again. Overall, I say judge the situation as it comes. I don't think it's good to be trigger hungry and just pull the plug realistically.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Well, I think with Ten Hag, there is a general consensus now that there is no better man.
Yeah.
And I think it's become that. Like, there is no better man.
If you're convinced you're going to sack him.
Hence, why get rid of him?
Yeah.
Right? But I don't think it's been pretty at all.
It's terrible, dude.
And
I'm glad I have the
like DR
podcast
said,
to
he's
express my
done
emotions
many.
now.
He's done many sackable offenses.
So many, dude.
Many sackable
like week in,
offenses,
week
and
out.
it just feels like he's gotten a lot of leeway, and it's gonna look really bad on him. I feel like,
Yeah, it could.
as a manager, if he doesn't do anything.
Dude, I
with
think
it.
he goes on to a new club.
The FA Cubs do say something, honestly, just because you guys haven't
It
won.
tells me he's a cup manager.
You haven't
It tells me
won.
he's good in a one-off
Cup
game.
manager is crazy. To
No,
say.
but like
No,
in
there's-
a one-off game, Erik ten Hag has proven to get the
Yeah.
job done. When it's been like this is a sack, like the ultimate last season, the FA Cup final. What a performance he put
Yeah.
out, right?
Saves his job.
It really did save his job. Genuinely saved his job. But
The
it's,
Liverpool performance when they beat you guys.
That was
He was supposed to get
crazy. I
sacked
hate
after that game.
yeah.
He was supposed to get sacked after that game. I was so mad at Liverpool.
Garnacho saved him that game.
No, bro. Whoever didn't score those 2 goals in the
Yeah.
first half messed that game
Should've
up.
I
ended
love that game. Wait,
man.
by the way, where's the documentary? The Jurgen Klopp farewell documentary. I wanted to watch.
I do not want to see a documentary.
I want to
about
see it,
that.
man.
I
It should
don't.
be fun.
You guys
know?
should do a
I
2-part
would hate to
with
see my
Klopp
club
and then
having a documentary.
Amad Diallo,
I would-
last minute winner. They probably wouldn't put that in.
it would be fun if they did like a 2-part, Klopp first and then like the
Slot.
continuation of.
I
Klopp.
can't wait till
Just 'cause
United
that's
get
such
one.
a nice start to it.
I can't wait till United gets that fly on the wall documentary, like the Tottenham. That'd be fun.
I don't think you
all
want to
the-
see stuff until it gets nice.
I would
Nah, I'd
not
love
want
to
to see
see
something
it.
like that about my club.
I would love. I would be
I
able
know what
to
you're saying.
pinpoint it.
I know what you're saying.
Just keep everything inside.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep
yeah.
it mysterious.
It's a little
Yeah.
cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
No,
know
I wouldn't
exactly
say
what
it's
you're saying.
cringy because I love Tottenham's Jose Mourinho.
Good
That was
content.
one of the that was the
But
best
it's a
one
little
probably.
cringy. It's a little cringy.
Nah, I love it, dude. I
I
love
think
it.
it's not if you're
Builds a connection with your fan base.
exposing
I think.
yourself to the media. Like
Right.
I
You
wouldn't
know-
want that.
Speaking of cringy, we can move on to our next segment in Arsenal. You think?
Let's do it.
Right? Yeah,
That's
so-
another documentary too.
Yeah, no kidding. So Arsenal, the big boys, the big bad Arteta's
LOL.
action figure Arteta on the sideline, glorified Tony Pulis gives Bournemouth their first ever win against Arsenal. Bournemouth's first ever time beating Arsenal.
Ever in history.
I believe so. That's
really
so I
think
heard.
so?
So I heard. You know, you guys can go and do your own research with regards to that. The big talking point's the red card. Right?
Red card.
Trossard passes that ball back, like so dumb. What a terrible decision to make, by the way. Then
he was soaked up under pressure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was
He got
kind of a
hard
duel. It
ball.
was a 50-50
It was
type
a
of thing.
ping.
He needed to touch
He
it.
needed to ping it somewhere. He had to get something on it. But
and then Saliba, he puts it behind Saliba, and he's on.
what a
whoever it
great
was.
ball.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
striker, what's his name? I really like him.
Oh, Evan Nielsen.
Evan
Nielsen.
Nielsen.
from
I
Bournemouth.
so I think he's a good talking point because he had a good game.
Yeah.
But I think he's been great in general, just like since
What
he's
a
came in.
replacement for Solanke.
Yeah. But like I remember seeing him for the first time against us.
Hmm.
We played them on a 3rd or 4th game week, and it was like a really tight game.
Yeah.
And so when it's a tight game, and usually what happened with us was it was a tight game. We weren't able to like score, but we were getting the chances. But what happens with those games is if you don't score after like 30, 45th minute, the other team becomes really dangerous because the little
Right.
chances they get, it's like they become
You have to
very
take every
clinical.
chance you get.
He kept them in that 1-0 game that we won because of that. Because he would get half chances and
I
make them
saw it. He
legit
did
chances.
keep the momentum. Like,
yeah,
don't let
he'd
go of the
make half
momentum.
chances legit chances, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought like
Didn't
I
he-
liked seeing him
didn't
right
he miss
away.
a penalty that game?
Yes,
He
yes,
did-
yep.
He missed a penalty
Sanchez,
that
yep.
game.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Saliba
Yeah.
ends up pulling him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Red card. Saliba's kicked off of the field after VAR review. And Arsenal really weren't able to cope with it. I mean, I kind of watched the game in and out. I wasn't completely fixated on it. But I think this could be the beginning of them derailing and fading off.
I think this is going to be a little moment like for them.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little more.
But it's the
for
thing,
sure.
like for me, I look at it, and Odegaard's not playing for them now.
Yes.
Saka wasn't able to play, and there's no creativity in
There's
that lineup
nothing.
anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Even before the red card on that game,
Yeah,
it was
stale.
It didn't seem like Arsenal were gonna do anything.
Really? I
It
feel like
didn't
no.
really feel like it. No, like when they were on the wing, it was kind of like today. Like Madueke can never, besides that one chance,
He's
Madueke
cut
can
in,
never
yeah.
really seem to actually was gonna do something. You know, but it was kind of that. Like,
It's pragmatic.
Sterling
Like,
did create some chances, though. I'm not gonna.
Well,
lie.
we-
yeah,
what we grown-
that's true. He did.
what we've grown to appreciate about Arsenal, like the last few seasons, their style of play, it's been really good, you know, from Arteta's standpoint. Now you look at them, it's like they're playing 4-4-2, 4 center backs, 3 center midfielders, or center defensive
Why
midfielders.
do you think that is?
And like they're banking on set pieces for them to win goals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why? What's going on?
The lack of creativity in the team. I mean, look at your 11. Your front forward line of Trossard, Martinelli, and who was it?
What today?
No, like this
I mean,
past. It was
what-
Trossard, Martinelli. Did Sterling start?
No, yeah, it was.
Yeah, he started.
I don't think Martinelli started.
No, Martinelli started.
Wait, I thought it was
Stunk
Havertz.
the place out, but he started. Oh, Havertz, you're right. Sorry.
It was Trossard, Havertz, and Sterling.
Martinelli didn't start?
I don't think so.
Oh, true, fair.
No.
I look at that front line and I'm not like, yo, that's the front line that's going to go and win the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now without Odegaard and
thing is,
Saka, there's
yeah,
no like creation, and like Arsenal fans, they pride themselves online
Yeah.
about their youth players. You got a kid like Ethan Nalrani. Why don't you go and give an opportunity to a kid like that so that he can maybe
They have
mature
depth
into
though.
that?
They have depth. That's the thing about
do.
them.
They don't have
depth.
ruthless depth.
But
Yeah.
now they've lost Odegaard. Who's
Yeah.
the guy who's creating chances? Saka? Okay, now they lost Saka. What's happening? Like they couldn't create a goal scoring high level goal scoring.
They had the
opportunities.
Moreno guy start today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Overall, I think it's like it's taking away from
Yeah,
what
and
Arteta did originally.
Exactly.
In possession,
Yeah.
ruthless goals, rotations. You know, it was beautiful.
Damn.
Now they're like a glorified
That's
Stoke
so
City,
crazy.
bro.
You know why? Because now they're lacking those players. The only player I can think of that could have filled in some of those gaps
Yeah.
was Smith Rowe, and they got rid of him.
And they got rid of him.
when they needed him.
Good
right?
point. Yeah, very
You
good
know what
point.
I mean?
And
It's
he's
like-
doing well at Fulham now too.
He's doing
Shout out to
amazing.
Smith Rowe.
He's doing amazing. He's
Yeah.
actually one of their main players now.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. Actually.
I think that goes to speak on like Arteta, honestly, like very big in terms of is he actually top? Because yeah, he's gotten second 2 years in a row, and it was really good.
He
those 2
challenged.
years. Yeah, he
But at the end
challenged.
of the
It
day, he
was
bottled.
really good. But at the end of the
He
day,
bottled.
he wasn't able to do it.
Mhm.
Right, like he wasn't able to win.
Get
and
it over
I
the
think
line.
I think that's something really important. Whereas like Ten Hag was able to get it over the line. So it's very interesting how you're putting it because he played very beautiful in the beginning, and now it's almost like he's doing what Pep did, where we don't play beautiful, we just make sure that we win.
Yeah.
Because we're City, like we
Right.
win, we're gonna win. You know, he's almost doing that, but he doesn't have that.
He doesn't
No.
have it.
He
But
doesn't have
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
He
Like,
doesn't have the quality. Like you look at that.
Well, it's not
forward
just
line.
quality
He does
because
have
his
quality.
team has
He
improved.
does have quality.
He has quality
He has
because his
quality
team has
players.
improved since that first season. It's not ruthless quality.
Bro, I
Right,
look at
but
somebody
that's-
like Martinelli, and
He
I don't
definitely
see
has
it.
a say in who he gets.
he's not the same Martinelli.
The Martinelli that I saw a few
seasons
years
ago,
ago,
yeah.
like he was competing with Rashford in
He
terms
had
of
like
numbers.
15 plus goals just in the Premier
Now we're
League.
saying things like, "Oh, he works so hard, bro." That's not what I want to hear about
Yeah.
my left winger. You know what I mean? Havertz has been surprising. I'll shout out
Yeah,
Havertz.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
was saying you were saying about Arsenal how they don't have their chance creators. They're not gonna perform, or
Yeah.
they're not gonna have an outlet to be dangerous or like threatening.
yeah.
But the way I've seen Arsenal, like, did you see when last 2 seasons, like a couple seasons ago, every time Arsenal would score, they would all like get together and like
Yeah.
Xhaka would get them together and like talk to them and tell them
Yeah.
let's not get too excited, this and that.
Mhm.
I see them as like a collective thing.
Right.
Like, so the way Arteta just trying
You
to
give that all to Arteta.
yeah, you know
Yes.
the way he's trying to make it is like if I'm missing pieces of the puzzle, doesn't matter. This is a collective
Right.
thing.
Right.
That's what I felt from Arsenal.
Right.
Is that
yes.
enough?
You know?
Yes.
Is that enough to go and overtake a Man City?
That's what
Right.
we
Liverpool
thought.
coming
That's
back
what we
to
thought.
challenge.
That's what
Right.
we thought. But it's
Where
coming-
however many game weeks into the season, and now we don't think they're going to contest like they did the season.
But yeah, you also gotta take in Man City into
Dude, their
perspective.
collective was very strong.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the strongest. Like let's rally. Like we're
That's
Arsenal.
when
we
they
have
had
to compete.
Zinchenko on fire too. Like
Dude,
player
they
like
they
Zinchenko
were
performing like that.
very strong. Like think about all those games. Like they were the show. Those like 1.5 years, I would say, because maybe towards the end of their bottling year, like the second year, wasn't amazing.
Which one?
But they were the show. Like it
They
was
didn't
really
even have
crazy.
Rice that one season. They
Mhm.
didn't have
right,
Rice.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
it was Partey for half the season, and
Yeah.
that was it.
And Xhaka was massive that season.
He
too,
was.
Just the tick, tick,
Big
tick.
So-
respects to him.
That's kind of in a sense kind
That's
of what
what
I
he
was
made
trying to
us
get
feel
at.
like, you
Like,
know?
is he top? Is Arteta top?
Does he have enough to get it over the line?
Does he have the
'Cause I
true
look at-
winning recipe? Like,
I
does
look
he
at-
have the true winning recipe?
I look at some of his tendencies,
You know what I'm saying?
and I don't see like an experienced manager. Like, you know how all those memes were coming out where they were like, "Oh, Saka dropped the disaster class. He's limping off the field." Saka's been running to the ground. Like he plays
Yup.
every single
He
week.
did, literally up to till this point of the season.
He hasn't stopped
Can,
playing.
can you guys name a player that you can like replace Saka with. And
He's been fantastic.
like I'm saying in Arsenal. Does he have a backup? Like you see the left side, you have Martinelli, Trossard,
Sterling now too. I thought Sterling was kind of that.
Yeah, but then when you look at the right wing, you see it's only Saka. If Saka's not there, who is there?
I was a fan, like,
you know what I mean?
Not a fan, but I thought it was a smart acquisition to go and get somebody like Sterling on loan for them, because that is your backup for Saka.
But Sterling is not a right winger.
Yeah, but he's done well. I thought he can play right wing. Like he can play as a right winger.
I mean, he could, but he's dominantly a left.
The thing with all those players is like they're not truly like.
They world class?
Yeah, they're not. They're not truly threatening. Like Havertz is gonna score you a couple of big moments in the season, but he's not going to do it consistently.
But you talk
Jesus
about
is barely going to do that, if that at all.
They don't even want him in.
Saka can do that. He's the man, right? And then who else? Martinelli's not going to do that. He'll have maybe 2 big moments in the season. So like it's like, but that's a lot of Arteta's recruitment, you know. So it's like it makes me really think like, is Arteta? Because the reason I've praised Arteta is like, I really see this strong recipe. Like he has something that like no other manager has been able to do. Like he's really rallying, like, you know. But now it just seems like now it just seems like, does he actually got it?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
because it doesn't seem like that. It doesn't seem like it's working.
You have one FA Cup to show for.
5 seasons, right? This is the 5th season.
You only have one FA Cup to show for, and that FA Cup you did nothing to lead up to that final.
And he beat Frank Lampard's second ever managerial season.
Those players won that FA Cup.
I know.
You can't give him credit for that FA Cup. No. He only showed up for one game in that FA Cup, and Aubameyang was the reason they won it. Yeah. That comes down to their players at the end of the day. You can't say, oh, he came in for one game, dropped a masterclass against Frank Lampard. Like, what is that? No. He didn't build that and get to that stage. You know what I mean?
So who was the manager before that? Was what's his name?
Good evening. This is Unai Emery.
Emery, right?
Yeah.
But wouldn't you say that the job he took on wasn't difficult to get it where it's at right now?
Oh, it's massive.
Would you imagine?
So I look at
Would you imagine Arsenal?
I look at Man United, and we're saying these are sackable offenses. This guy came in his first full season, finished 8th. Season after that, finished 8th. Season after that, should have got top 4, folded it, and then ended up in 5th. The next season, should have got 1st, folded, ended up in 2nd. The season after that, should have been 1st, folded, ended up 2nd again. And now we're here talking about how they lost to Bournemouth.
Yep.
You go through this lineup. Who are the world-class players in this lineup? Saka's undeniable.
World class? You guys saying world class?
World class. They could walk into Real Madrid. I look at Saliba. I look at Bukayo Saka.
I'll give it to Saka.
Yeah, right? I'll give it to Saka.
He's been there. He's still.
If not, it's like between him and Rodrigo. You know, like you could argue either case.
World class is tough.
Who else though? Like, do you think Declan Rice is world class?
Big accomplishment.
No, do you think Declan Rice is world class?
No.
I think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Declan Rice can walk into any team and stomp his position.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough in it. There's not. He doesn't have.
He hasn't been the best of that midfield.
No, but he showed that what he added to Arsenal.
Odegaard, world class. I like Odegaard. I think Odegaard walks into a lot of big teams.
World class is big, guys. Like world class.
Yeah, I know what you're
huge.
saying. I know what you're saying.
What I mean?
I know what you're saying, but I think Saka's definitely there.
Saka's there.
He's done it consistently enough for 2-3 seasons in the biggest stages that his team.
How many right wingers can you name in world football that you think are better than Bukayo Saka? Mo Salah.
That's the
only
player I can think of.
Sane is good, but like, meh, you know.
Yeah, it's Mo Salah. That's it.
Cole Palmer last season.
Moment.
He's a little bit more of a 10.
He's new too.
Any like right wing.
He's quality, bro. He is like
Rodrigo.
I think he just broke the record. Yeah, Rodrigo's up there. You just broke the record for the most consecutive assists.
Yeah, he's very consistent. He's very consistent.
Consistency. See, so like I look at Rashford and I look at Saka. Like Saka could not score or assist in a game and still look really good. What I really like about Saka is like you always hear, oh, this player is good at cutting in and then shooting, or this player is good at driving down the line and playing it back inside into the box. Mm-hmm. Saka as a fullback, he's your worst nightmare.
Yeah,
he's gonna go inside. He's gonna go outside.
Yeah. He's gonna take what you give him. He can hold the
line. Yeah, he's quality.
He's just waiting for you to give it to him.
He's got a lot of solutions in his arsenal.
Yeah,
pun intended.
He does.
That's good.
Overall, I don't think they're serious. I think somebody like Liverpool,
I feel like
City.
They were serious. they were pretty serious until they got hit with the reality.
Yeah, it's the Odegaard injury for me and how they react for that.
We're about to see, right? Like, we're about to see
Is
if they're going to
They play
downfall.
Chelsea next?
Are they going to...
Or Liverpool?
Oh
They
my
play Liverpool
God,
next. No Saliba?
I think
DR, you guys should
they
pounce on
always
that.
struggle. I think we're playing them at the Emirates. That's a tough game.
You
No
guys should pounce on
Saliba is huge, bro.
Yeah,
Huge.
he's actually
You guys downplay Gabriel as well, man. He's
think
a
so?
solid defender.
No, he's been good.
he's been
good.
scoring
good.
goals because they mess with their keeper.
Yeah, he's
Set
been
piece
scoring
merchants.
goals.
They're set piece merchants, bro. This is
No,
a
no.
glorified Stoke City team we're talking about. It's not even
No, I
the
know what
free
you're
flowing
saying, though,
football.
for sure. And I'm definitely
Nah,
like just
they're
messing.
comfortable. They're comfortable in the Premier League.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
big part of that loss, you can't just judge it off of that.
No,
You're playing with a man down away, and it's your
But it's
best,
Bournemouth, and you're supposed to be a
it's your
title
best
contender.
defender. You know.
But look,
Yeah.
look, since like Lau said earlier, right? Like, let's see it go to shit and see what happens. Because the last 2 seasons, it's been pretty good. Besides the folding, and at the folding, it's the end of the season. You don't really like as soon as you fold, the season's over.
Right.
You
Good
know what
question.
I'm saying? Now this is like interesting because now you're 8 weeks in. You play Liverpool next. After that, you play Chelsea. You're missing Saliba. You're missing Saka and Odegaard. Like now, it's like the manager. Now Arteta's in real shit.
You got to figure it out.
He either has to figure it out or Arsenal's going to be like, yeah, you can't do this. And I think that's a
Yeah.
genuine feeling.
But
man.
I don't think Arsenal will just give up on
No,
them like
no,
They'll be
that.
hard to
maybe
break
not.
down.
Maybe
They'll be
not.
really hard to
But
break
the thing
down.
about Arsenal fans is once you lose them, you lose them.
Yeah, you're seeing a little bit of that.
They're
with
gonna
troops
they're gonna
online.
start mocking Arteta, right? They're gonna start saying Arteta out.
But I don't think he's structured his plan to go that route. I think
No,
he has,
Bro, he's gonna show up at the Emirates. He's gonna soak up pressure, play really deep in a 4-4-2, and bake on set pieces because that's what he's been doing most of the season.
Yep, that's true.
But the thing is, he has enough in his arsenal to play.
Pun intended.
Yeah, I'm saying but he has enough in him to like not just to rely on set pieces. He has creative
That's what I'm saying.
players.
Yeah.
Like Saka can. He's a man that can
Dude,
score.
why hasn't
He
he been
assists.
why hasn't he been able to talk about, like, when I think of a good manager improving the player, why hasn't he been able to do anything with Gabriel Jesus? I thought that was his player.
Exactly.
Why hasn't he been where's Martinelli at?
Where's Martinelli?
You know what
at?
I'm saying? Sterling, he said, I'm ready to change
He's
like my
worked with
game
him.
or whatever he said, right? That picture shows up.
But the
all
thing
time.
is with Gabriel Jesus is he gave him a chance his first season coming in. Then after that he was just like, all right,
But you can't.
You're a
dude,
backup now.
See, like that makes me think, like, what? It either works or it doesn't for him. That's not a good manager, man.
Nah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like you have to at least know how to win.
But he's giving him the
and it's not
chance.
just winning
He's giving him the
games.
chance.
Like being a good manager is not just winning games.
I
It's
love
like
Gabriel Jesus.
winning for your team. Like
Yeah.
they need to win something. Like at this point, and he doesn't seem like they're gonna do that.
He's-
and the big thing is the
yeah,
Premier
he-
League.
They
used
need
to
to
be
touch a
the
trophy this season, or
Yeah.
like it's even worse than
That's
it is now.
tough.
They have to.
Like you guys are. How are you guys still closer to the title than they are?
It's just because
Because they have the experience.
they have the
They've won
experience.
it.
That's the thing is like their play. There was a big talk back when Arsenal was. This was when they folded during. They were even they had the first place even after Christmas time.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the point where they asked Arteta. He was like, "Your team, they've never had a taste of glory." Basically,
Yeah.
he's saying, do you think under all that pressure, a young team that's new to this experience, new to this butterfly feeling in your chest over winning, are they strong enough to hold that pressure?
You saw last season them doing fantastic against the really big clubs, like the top 16.
Yeah.
I think they were undefeated.
And that's
actually.
what the big question was: is this can this team contain itself with that pressure on them of us? Oh, we're winning. Even the thing is, they were clear by points, by
No,
games.
they folded, bro. It's not
That's
like
what
they
I'm
were just
saying.
there and they couldn't get over. They
He's
folded.
asking that question. It's like they've never been there. They've never had
That's the ruthlessness.
that was
they
their
lack.
one-time experience.
That's what I'm saying. But Arteta's recruiting those guys.
You had the opportunity to go sign Ivan Toney in the summer. Why didn't you do it?
Why? How is Tuchel able? Sorry.
Yeah.
How is Tuchel able to do that in a year? How is Conte able to come in and do it in a year?
I think luck plays a massive part.
120%, 120%. But it's a mentality thing. Like Eric Ten Hag believes he's a winner.
Yeah.
And you can't
Tuchel
say he isn't.
believes he's a winner.
You can't say he isn't.
Conte believes he's a winner. He even thought he could change Spurs. That's how much he believes in himself.
Mourinho,
Arteta?
you don't have evidence. You can't go back and rely on. You don't have something to rely on. You can say, "Oh, he was a part of that Man City team."
I think he believes he can win.
I believe it too.
I think he believes he can win.
I think
I don't
he's
think
made
he
his
believes
players-
he is a winner.
Yeah, he does.
There's a difference.
I
The
think
way he
his
carries
biggest
himself-
quality, I think, is making his players believe that they're winners.
Yeah, and he wants.
But it
to-
hasn't been there at the last effort, the
But
last ditch effort.
but-
They've capitulated.
But then why hasn't he done that with Jesus? Why isn't he able to do that with Martinelli? Why isn't he able to do that with so many other players? Like you said, he hasn't been able to promote youth, rotate the squad.
Effectively,
Like, right? He got quality in those positions. Partey, insane. He's an insane player. Let's get it right.
Injury
Declan
prone.
Rice was insane before that. Emile Smith Rowe looked insane before he had his injury.
He literally kept him.
Like,
in the
Saka
top
is an
10.
insane player, right? Like,
I think you know what they're missing? They're missing. You said it about United a little while ago. They're missing that star quality.
Right.
You look at Saka and you think about forward lines, right? Your Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo. Your Neymar, Suarez. Your Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. It's like two of those guys are usually the main guy. Your Firmino, Salah, Mane. It's like two of those guys are the main guy, and then there's this one guy that plays the support character very well.
yeah.
I think that's what Saka is.
Yes,
And that's
yes.
he's not the superstar.
No.
Like the way we look at
I think
Rashford.
he is a superstar.
He is a
But I think,
superstar.
let's say you
He's
get
not
Rodrigo.
the superstar.
Like if Arsenal were ruthless in the summer, they would have went and knocked on Real Madrid's door to get Rodrigo and play him on the left
You
wing.
think Rodrigo would have wanted to go to Arsenal though?
I mean,
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I
You
do
know, that's
not think
different.
so.
But if I'm a team that's almost there and I need that final piece, I will go balls to the wall to get a player of quality that can maybe get me over the line. And I don't think they had that in the summer.
And you don't-
You could have went and got Ivan Toney. Mm-hmm. Who else? Who were the 9 options there
Exactly.
in the time?
Watkins.
Watkins. You could have
Yep.
went and got Watkins. It's a tap-in. He's an Arsenal fan.
Yep.
He comes in and monumentally improves your game. And
But don't you think that he wanted to play? He wanted to like.
Havertz?
No, I'm talking about like Watkins. He wanted to stay with Austin Villa. Just got into the
I
Champions
think
League.
if you come and knock on the door, he will be down to leave.
And again, it's what mentality you come in with.
And Villa would have
Like,
been willing
if you
to
go
sell.
to Rodrigo and you're like, come in and maybe win, he's going to be like, I'm in Real Madrid. I'm going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If you come in and tell Rodrigo, yo, come join and let's dethrone City because that's what we're doing.
Can you sell it to him and he's going to buy it? Top player, top
And
level.
can
He
you
comes
make him
in,
believe that
gives you a
that you're
significant
going to
tick.
win?
Yeah.
Like, because that's the real thing,
Right.
right? Like, when we brought players in, players like Mudryk and stuff, yeah, we definitely overpaid,
Yeah.
right? But it was like Sancho too.
Yeah.
It was like the project. Like, the manager spoke to me, and I liked what he said.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's that genuine feeling.
Yeah. No. I think overall it's a situation, another situation to monitor. But,
Yeah.
you know, they came in with very high expectations. And I think at the bare minimum, Arteta should be walking away with the trophy based on the progression that he has had and the hype that's around him. It's just ridiculous how the media treat
I mean,
him.
he should have had a trophy already.
Already, yes.
Besides
But
that FA
yeah,
Cup.
no, like I said, he's bottled on multiple opportunities. Also, he's sacking off multiple competitions to focus on the Premier League for the most part, right? Like, there's opportunities for him to go and do stuff like in other competitions. Maybe he doesn't respect it to the same degree, but I don't know. Right, guys, that's to conclude our pilot episode of the Half Turn podcast. We appreciate you being here. We look forward to seeing you back. And how do you guys think that went? I thought that went pretty good overall.
Yeah, I definitely liked it. You know, definitely had the jitters before,
A little bit.
Just feeling good now. Excited for what we got going on, and honestly, really excited to hear out what people think. You know, and just hear what they want to talk about, engaging with us. So yeah, make sure you definitely check us out, like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify podcast. Well, we're gonna be in a lot of platforms, so make sure you stay tuned.
Catch us wherever you find your podcasts.
Yes. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed it. We having fun here, and I hope you guys engage and ask us questions, clown our teams. We're open to that.
We're open
We got
to
a
it.
Man United fan here, so we're always open
Bring
to
it.
that.
Yes, sir.
Bring
yes,
it.
sir.
My skin is strong. I have hard skin being a Man United fan.
We will see. We will see.
Absolutely. Boys, get into the comment section. Like, comment, subscribe, share with family and friends, and let us know.